Hello everybody and welcome into the Unity European Cup. We've got the last chance qualifiers for you today. I'm Spartan Tano, joined by the incredible Jonathan Hyde. How are you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic on this beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are watching from today.
What I love is the kind of sable eye down at the bottom there with the scores, like style. Like, how cool is that, buddy? That looks production.
I love that.
Absolutely cooking here. It's very every time I do something for Unity Clash, they step it up every single time. But absolutely excited to be here back on the mic. I didn't get a chance to be on the other one, so it was exciting to see how that went. I think we may have a little bit of update on how those groups went. Let's see if we do. Either way, stage one has already gone on. Group A was Germany, Greece, Portugal. Germany won 2-1 versus Greece and 2-0 versus Portugal. So Germany is on a streak right now, Jonathan.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what we saw last year as well. Germany came out on top, winning the whole thing. So it's going to be down to a few revenge matches this year, as a lot more teams are going to be looking and seeing, hey, you know what? Germany is the target. We got to take them down. Maybe you get into those GCs. Maybe you get in those group chats. You collab together. You know, make it like a whole thing. You're like, Germany's got to go down.
I mean, they are a team to be reckoned with, to be honest. Having said that, also another team that is usually to be reckoned with, the rundown of Group B and C. So Group B, Spain 2-0'd Switzerland and the UK, which is incredible. Fair play to Spain. I believe Switzerland are actually on the back of winning it last time. They 2-0'd the UK, and of course France are previous champions as well. Group C, France defeated Italy 2-0. Sweden took the game from Italy 2-1 after a very close game. France versus Sweden was one of the closest games yet, but France took the game 2-1. So already, so many teams showing how strong they are. France want that crown back. Switzerland don't want to give it up. Spain are dominating alongside Germany so far. And now we have the last chance qualifier. UK and Italy are the 5th and 4th seed from last year, chat. And there's only 2 teams that will qualify for stage 3 through this last chance qualifier. So it is now time to go big or go home, Jonathan.
Absolutely, and we're going to have a great match here today as well. It's going to be amazing. We're going to see Sable Eyes. We're going to see Tyrannotars. Right, guys? Right, chat? You're going to spoil me today, right? Or are we going to stick with good old Darkrai bands, Suicune bands, first pick on those Snorlaxes? I mean, come on. Are we really going to do that?
We gotta have some tasties today. This is Greece versus Portugal. It's the last match of stage 1, so we need to get this out of the way so we can progress with the rest of these stages. But Greece versus Portugal, let's see how they get on, because there has been plenty of upsets already here in the UEC. Look at the amazing transition as we get ready to kick it off.
Oh, beautiful. A production never fails to disappoint. Not disappoint, never fails to impress. But oh my gosh, here we go. Greece and Portugal going into the draft here. Stuck on the band phase. We're going to see what's going to come through here in a moment. Great to see. Everybody's got 15 seconds to select the band. Mega Charizard, Mega Lucario. Global band today. Only Mega Mewtwo X and Y are the Mega Pokemon available for us today.
Oh, give me the chaos of all the megas on the field, buddy, because the thing is, if Mega Charizard was allowed anyway, it would just spend 100% in ban jail. Like, there's no way that Pokemon's going to be let through with the way it is right now. So, no, it's definitely better because it means that we have more bans that we can use here. Portugal are going to ban out Leafeon and Blissey. Greece so far with the Buzzwole and Mew combo. Let's see what Portugal are going to finish off with. We expect these strong all-rounders, and seeing who's on the other side, I think a Serena makes sense here.
Yeah, Serena's coming out, and of course, that Darkrai ban. We do not want those Battle Pass buffs to come through at all. Darkrai's very aggressive, very powerful right now, and we don't want to see it on the field. But speaking of powerful, speaking of impressive, Suicune coming in as the king of utility.
Yeah, that is a huge pickup for Portugal. It is the king of crowd control right now, and it is very important for making your team have that capability of winning team fights. That's what it's there for. Greece are going to answer with a good stronghold for themselves here. They've got Blaziken for brilliant secure and also very hard to take down. And Father Hooper is on the Hooper here, which is interesting. That's going to give them a choice. Do they want to go for really quick movement, which is so important on this brand new map? Well, it's not so much brand new now, but it's still a new map and it is still very important. On top of that, they can go for the Trick Phantom Force. We've been seeing so many people run so far.
Yeah, Trick Phantom Force, so good, and it's been able to pivot a lot of Pokemon from danger to safety. We've seen great uses on it with Talonflames, being able to just dive in and then boop, they port back and they're just like, hey, I was there, now I'm here. But speaking of being able to wall off some scenarios there, we do have Crustle coming in here for Portugal, paired up with a nasty Zacian.
I am really liking the way that this draft is going for both teams, to be honest. Kopiyama is going to bring out the Umbreon here. So even if they do go for the Trick Phantom Force, they could have Wish on the side of the Umbreon. We see the Blastoise going straight to the attack build rather than going for support. So that is going to be pretty much an all-rounder on the field rather than just a defender. Portugal here, they're going to rain it out with an Espeon, sorry, I was going to say Eldegoss there. I mean, it is range damage anyway. So they are going to have access to that Psyshock if they want to go for the rips on these tanks. That's what I'm suspecting here, to be honest, because it's the only range that Portugal currently have, ranging it out with Dark on the Aegislash as well.
Yeah, they're going to be really playing hard around the stuns between Suicune and Espeon. Psyshock does offer stuns, and the Psychic Solaire on that Unite move is going to be very powerful. The Aegis Slash also going to be a really good Pokemon, able to avoid any sort of stuns or CC that might come out from a Blastoise trying to Hydro Pump you out of the way. But Miraidon here for Grease, that is a demonic pick. Again, you don't have a whole lot of range on Portugal. Miraidon is the answer for that. You got to get on top of it or it's going to take you down.
Yeah, that is the perfect response here by Grease, throwing out Todo on that Miraidon. They have much more range on their side, and on top of that, Enhanced Charge Beam can rip through that strong front line that they've got with those all-rounders and that defender. It's all about protecting Todo here, but if they can do that, they will have a much easier job, and that's why they have the strong front line that they've built. They've got the Umbreon, they've got the Blastoise, they also have the support there. That is there to protect Todo on that Miraidon, so I'd be very surprised to see how much Todo manages to get away with having that damage brought to them.
Yeah, and the Aegis Slash, I think, is the Pokemon that is going to have the best likelihood of getting onto the Miraidon. With the Sacred Sword, it's able to jump through the front lines. They're able to hit through the back, build up those boosted autos using the wide guard there, which I honestly think they missed an opportunity. That should have been King Shield. Come on, what are you doing with that there? But the wide guards being able to pop in, send that through. You get those boosteds on the Miraidon. Miraidon's going down lickety-split just like that.
Well, here we go. It's the final set in Stage 1. Portugal are going to go to the central area with the Aegis Slash. Greece doing the same with the Blaziken, but they're sending in Father Hooper to try and see if they can steal something away from Dark.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity for an invade. Even if you don't get anything, you can slow them down. And that is also very crucial. Hoopa is a very powerful Pokemon to be able to do this. And look at that. They go for it, but the Aegis Slash still comes on top. But look, they have to leave. Look at the damage Hoopa's able to output.
Yeah, great damage. They're going to at least pull people to them as well. Suicune's now in the lane. We see Espeon coming in. Manages to find them with a little bit of hit. So not too much time distracted, but Squirtle's going to put some pressure on into that top lane. Suicune's going to be able to get back there. And down here, Greece haven't got much from that either. So they would have wanted a bit more from that, to be honest, Hyde. And I think Portugal responded well.
They absolutely did. Now we're going up to the top lane. We're in a few situation as the Doublade comes up and joins. 850 birds are in. The Blazikens look the Blaze Kick. They also grab the Doublade with it, take the KO, and that's a huge lead for Greece.
Yeah, this is decent. If you can find the power spikes early on, that is going to give you much more of an advantage right now. They've got Umbreon online, hit level 5 on Miraidon. We also have Combusken on the field. But down here, we have Crustle and Espeon. That is going to make it easy. And it's stored power as well coming out of Joxo. So that's so interesting. They are going to be even harder to catch. But it kind of just gives more space to the Miraidon.
Yeah, it does. I mean, the Psyshock isn't able to reach as deep. It's stored power. You can't aim that. That goes on to the closest targets there. So if that's the Umbreon there, that could be the Umbreon. That's the guy you want to hit. But if it's the Blaziken, you can still heal that up. But Portugal is making a great push on Greece's T1 pad.
Yeah, they're going to send Blaziken and Miraidon up here now as well. Todo's getting ready with this enhanced charge beam. Misses the second one. Regidrago is now on the field. Nobody is showing interest. In fact, now both teams look like they want to rotate down and see if they can grab this. They do have Blaziken, so the Secure is on the side of Greece right now. And we do have Kopiyami in the backside looking for the flank disrupt, but they get KO'd thanks to Espeon. And now the Regidrago is rotating to the top side. Damage is getting dealt. We see a dive onto Hooper there, and they find the KO. Can they charge the overheat in time, or will they find the KO? They do! That is perfect for Portugal.
And it's Espeon with the Secure on the Regidrago. That means they get the increased score speed. Now the Miraidon is in trouble. Try to get out. The secret assassin Crustle takes them down. Greece is now on the back foot, losing that early momentum. Portugal is doing a great job of baiting them in away from the pads. As they're diving in, there goes the Aegis Slash. That takes down the War Turtle with the Suicune. They're going for it again, denying the Hoopa portals. There we go. Kapayama take it down. Point trading in. The first score is going to Portugal.
Oh, they did get a little bit too overconfident here, though, Hyde, as they managed to take down Zacian. Espeon falls as well, and they are nearly your highest level Pokemon, so that is a decent amount of experience that Grease has found, but you are absolutely right. They've scored 90 points into the goal. It's currently still a donut store here for Grease as they look to see if they can grab the Registeel as well as rotate bottom to show some presence as well. They might be biting off a little bit more than they can chew here.
Yeah, the great freeze from the Suicune. They're able to stun the Blaziken. Now the Aegislash is going in and taken down by the Zacian. The Secure is going to go to the side of Portugal. Now they're pushing the top pad. It's just Blastoise holding the line, but they can't do a whole much. There's the Surf, but they're going to get taken as well. Huge 17-point overdunk now for the side of Portugal.
Oh, Grease are going to have to lock in big here, buddy. I mean, we are in the mid-game. It's still anyone's chance here. They've got to grab this experience and try and see if they can find some good KOs, but that's exactly why Zacian's rotating through the central area of Grease now. They're trying to take away any bit of farm that they can and limit the power cap that they've currently got. They may be caught out here, though, as Blaziken looks for them, but the Claw's going to get them out, and Grease are going to have to regroup on the bottom lane.
They are, and it is Regieleki in the bottom lane, wanting to shake things up, taking the basement. That is great for it, but that means we are going to get a lot more pressure. And they're now moving on to the Regieleki. Portugal with a very powerful position, but Kapayama goes in. The Moonlight Prance comes out. The stuns are in. The Satiate's down. There goes the Suicune. The Hydro Typhoon comes out. The Psychic Solaire is in response. Portugal is pushing this pad hard as Grease has fallen. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That is incredible. It felt like Grease finally had a brilliant engagement there. The Moonlight Prance was so good. On top of that, we had the Bright Future Meteor Storm, and they were finding some KOs, but unfortunately, Portugal were locked in. They came in with the disruption from the Crustle, Suicune, and the Zacian, and it was too much for Grease to handle. They may get a good push down here, buddy, but they gave away way too much after that.
Oh, they did. Look at these levels, Tano. 2 level 11s on each side there. We do have a level 10 on the Blastoise and a 10 on the Espeon Crustle there. So a little bit of a experience lead for the side of Portugal, but Grease is not far behind. Despite the point total here, the difference there, the teams are keeping very good pace as the next of our Reggie Roulette is in the top lane.
Yeah, Hooper's called roll call here as well. They're going to go and see if they can cause a little bit of space so that Regis can be taken by Grease. They are prepared for anyone coming on in, but Portugal are not that bothered. They've got levels, they can defend this, and they know they can. Zacian's here, they've got the assistants with them, and they're trying to see if they can go for a pincer movement here. That is why Store Power was used, trying to make sure that they are kiteable. The push into the pad here, they do manage to get back, and they get the Hydro Typhoon off just before they do. They found Aegislash. Grease are getting some good connections here. If they can find this Suicune as well, as Bright Future Meteor Storm is going to land, and they are sent back to the Pokemon Center. Grease finally have a good fight and get some good levels.
Yeah, and they're splitting up to try to get these scores here, but Crustle is doing a fantastic job. There's the Rebel Rouser. The Hoopa goes back, but the Blaziken is pinned. Are we able to get it? That's huge damage. Blaziken is gone, and there we go. The Hoopa's also gone. Kapayama trapped by the walls. Could be the next victim. No, they get away and out of that. What a fantastic escape.
Bro, these Crustle walls are just next level. Like, this is why this Pokemon gets a little bit of bans now and again, because it's so annoying to play against it. You kind of like, it takes so much to get the KO, because they'll just pop that Rubble Rouser, and then the amount of times you get cut off from your escape, it's ridiculous. And I know that this is definitely a problem that Grease are struggling with right now.
Absolutely. Crustle is a very tanky Pokemon, very strong, but Grease can find a way back into this. 130 to 190. 30 seconds until Groudon is in, and Portugal has both their T1 pads up. Any sort of cheeky back cap could put Grease in the lead, and all of a sudden it's Portugal that has to find a way to get into this Groudon fight.
Yeah, I will say, Grease have done a brilliant job to get themselves back into this game from Groudon coming on to the field. We got 10 seconds to wait right now. They're just trying to see if they can find where Portugal is, but look how aggressive Portugal are positioned. They have seen where Crustle is and Zarshan B, and they might want to go on a little bit of a backup now, and that's what they're looking for as the rotation around the top side comes in from Greece. Got to watch out, though. There's a Zarshan on the side of Portugal, and he's very good at ripping this Groudon. So now they sit in the top side of this pit waiting for it. They do manage to pull in the Crustle. Misses the surf, though. The X-Scissor won't, and Greece are getting ready to let it loose with the rings getting pulled out now. Now they're going for the rip onto the Groudon. They've got the Psychic Solaire in there, but it's going to be the coup de grace that lands it for Portugal on the top of the Hydra Typhoon, trying to disrupt Portugal's movement, but it isn't enough. Hyde. Greece get aced, and Portugal are looking to win game 1.
Yeah, they're going for it, but with a minute 20 on the clock, there's a possibility for Greece to come back. 390 to 130 is not the end of the world. They're already spawning in, making it dangerous for Portugal to push any further. If they keep this going, if Greece is able to get some of these KOs, grab some of these Groudon buffs, this is what they need. This is what they want. And again, these T1 pads are still up. You can't just jump to them. So initially, Portugal's going to have to figure out, do we defend these T1 pads or do we just give it up and play for T2?
Yeah, and the thing is, if you give up a T1 pad here, the score is so close. That T2 defense is going to be so important. Greece are really looking to see if they can find a pick here. If they can get themselves a Groudon buff, that will be massive as Crustle falls. The damage is raining through. Blaziken is going to need some HP if they want to take this fight. Bright Fury, Meteor Storm, but Dark throws the swords into the face of Miraidon, and now they can't gain anything else with a brilliant Psychic Solaire, and that is going to be all she wrote as Portugal wipes out Greece once again.
Yeah, game 1 will go to Portugal, but that's not all today. Well, Greece still has a shot in this because these are best of 3 opportunities. Greece is now going to have to go back to the drawing table. They got to look and say, hey, what worked, what didn't, how do we get back into this? And they have to go right in that. We'll see what's going to happen right in the next draft.
Oh, wow. I tell you what, that was an exciting game, that one, buddy. It felt like Portugal were very much in control of most of that. And look at 103k damage coming in from Espeon, 38.6% of the team. I tell you what, every time I see Espeons in these games, it's so underrated because you don't think that that Pokemon can do that kind of stuff, but it does it so frequently, Hyde.
Yeah, it does. 103k. We are just cooking with that Espeon there. The stored power finding targets wherever, which way. You can't aim it, but they're still making connections there. And even though Toto was on that Miraidon, it just felt like it wasn't as impactful because of that Espeon.
Yeah, and Psybeam as well. Like, I genuinely believe Psybeam is my favorite secure in the game because nobody expects it. You are a squishy glass cannon to say. Nobody expects you to use that Psybeam to get a secure, but it bounces off people, Hyde. That's the best thing about it. Or you don't even have to hit the objective. You just have to hit one of the enemies near it, and you can get a secure. So I love seeing people bring Espeon into these games.
Oh, I love it too. It's a Pokemon that's very underrated, that used to see a whole lot of play, but has kind of fallen off now. But it's got that great early level scaling that's really pairs well into that bottom lane, especially with another early scaler like Crustle. Crustle Espeon are such a dangerous combo, especially as we saw that Crustle put up excellent Rock Tombs, allowing the Espeon to hit those targets with the stored power. Not once, not twice, but repeatedly.
Oh, I tell you, buddy. Now it's down to Greece. They are currently 1 game down. If Portugal win this, they will take the set. And they've got to go back to the drawing board here. I feel like the plan that they had was smart, but there was too much disruption getting onto that front line over to the side of Greece. It wasn't difficult for Zarshan, for the Aegislash to get in and find those picks, buddy. So Todo was not as protected as they were expecting to be.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's going to be great to see what Grace comes up with, because if there's one thing that I love about Pokemon Unite, it's being creative with the strategies. I mean, that's how we got Espeon back. That's how Miraidon made a resurgence, is even though these are powerful Pokemon, you still need to figure out how to play around them. That's why Crustle worked so well these last few months, even at Worlds. I still can't believe the bug representation. Crustle Battle Pass when?
Yeah, well, I know. It's got to happen, hasn't it? It was so incredible. It's such an incredible defender. I mean, most of the defenders in this game are in such a brilliant position, although I know people feel Gudra needs a little bit of love, as does Greedon. But either way, most of the defenders in this game are in a very good position. So I kind of like the stage that we're at with Pokemon Unite. Just, you know, tune down these Megas. That's why we see them banned at the moment. Tune them down, and then I think we might have a good game on our hands.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we might have the most powerful Megas still out, but if anybody wants to get really frisky, when it gets really in there, Mega Mewtwo X, Mega Mewtwo Y, you can still bring them in. You know what? Be even crazier. Double Mewtwo into the same lane, side strike it. You just chain them up, go for it. Send it.
Yeah, mate, I'm on board with that 100% of the way. Let's go, teams. You've heard it right here. I want to see it coming into this game. Looking at the bans, though, Greece are going to ban out that Zacian. They did not like what was going on in that previous game, and I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but also the Blissey's going to keep out, as well as the Darkrai Leafeon, staple bans from Portugal. When you're in a second pick position like this, you want to get rid of powerful Pokemon like those. And Leafeon, early scaler and whatnot, but we are also going to leave up that Suicune. But what's also important, Hoopa is now up for grabs for Portugal to grab away. I mean, we got Father Hoopa and Suicune. Does that mean that Hoopa's off the table for Greece?
Yeah, I mean, surely you would want to try and bring that out here. You know that Greece would like to do the same. Okay, so Blaziken's going to be picked up by Portugal. They're the ones that are going to take the King of Secure so far. And we do have another Blastoise taken to the field. Looking like that's also going to be an attack Blastoise, because you can see they're stacking on it as well. How are Greece going to respond? We know that they love some Serena play. It's not been banned this time, so at least they get back to their comfort picks here, Hyde. But being on the back foot, they're going to pull out the Psyduck for a support, and they also have Copperjani here on the Latios.
Yeah, Latios is going to be a very powerful Pokemon coming in. Once you get those level 5, you can start getting those Aeon stacks. Once those Aeon stacks come up, Dragon Pulse or Draco Meteor just become a heck of a move to have to deal with. You don't want those getting online too quickly. So Copperjani is going to be looking to brawl to get those stacks up.
I'm liking the way this is shaking out, because Portugal, realistically, they're lacking damage, buddy. They do have a Blastoise, and of course the Blaziken, but no range. And I don't think that's enough damage to deal with what Greece has. I would expect to see a ranged attacker or a speedster coming in for Portugal. I want a ranged attacker because they need it. Over on the side of Greece, they are locking in with the Brawl. They've got the Serena. We've got, I would expect it to be a Water Bear, because it usually is nowadays. So it's not going to be easy for whatever ranged attacker Portugal picks up, because they're dashing straight onto you, and you have to have a good line to protect you.
Now, while Espeon is going to be that Pokemon for Portugal, just like we saw last game, they're going to be bringing it back. We saw how effective it was with the Psychic Solaires, able to shut those down. But whether it's still going to be Stored Power or Side Shock remains to be seen. May prioritize the stuns here over the sure hits from the Stored Power. It might be more effective, especially into Pokemon like the Serena or like the Urshifu. But again, like the mobility from Stored Power, that could be also something that you want to prioritize. But I think the fact that Toto here is running Eject and attack weight, and possibly this might be a Wicked Blow Bear.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, buddy. Seeing that eject button on Todo, this could be a Wicked Blow Bear, which, you know, you do want that secure, so that does make sense. And also the Unite move is perfect for taking at least one Pokemon out of the fight. And to be honest, if that one Pokemon is Espeon, it ain't surviving an Ebon Fist, but it is not surviving that. So you at least managed to take one Pokemon out of the fight. And realistically, it is the main area of damage for Portugal over there.
Yeah, it is. And when you look at it, again, they have Alcremie, they have that Blastoise there. Those are Pokemon that don't output a whole lot of damage at once. Over time, they utilize Sustain to do it. We might see a little bit of Degleam, but I think that Alcremie is going to be recovered with how bulky the side of Portugal is, because that is where it is. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Alcremie's Recover is the most broken healing move in this game.
It's pretty strong, I'll give you that, buddy, as we kick off now into the second game of this set. Greece have moved over to your purple side. Portugal still here on your orange side.
Yeah, here we go. We're going to see the Blaziken go into the central lane for Portugal here. And we're going to see Qualifiers for Greece. Not surprising to see the Urshifu in there, but it is a prime target to get in. Not a whole lot of invaders for Portugal. So they're going to fight for the farm here. Ladio's going to be picking up the first secure on that wild Pokemon there. They're going to grab the capture, and it's the Espeon that gets the second.
Looking to build up those stacks though on the side of that Latios, and that's the issue. It's kind of like a Tinkerton, isn't it? You are always going to be giving some stacks over to it if you get involved in a fight. So you've got to be cautious of that, but you still need to go in and find that farm. So it's kind of a catch-22 here, and I like the play from Greece to bring that in, as they do have the Urshifu coming into the lane, and we'll finally see, is it going to be Red Bear or is it going to be Water Bear?
Oh, yeah, but we do have our Combuskin right there in front of the Urshifu. They don't know where they are yet, but with a nice pick, they might be able to get it. But it's Wicked Blow! Urshifu! Powerful blows coming in as we get kidnapped on the farm there by the Combuskin. Urshifu's already low for the 4-man in the top. Squirtle's involved now. They are a War Turtle as Portugal keeps the pressure on to Greece.
What a brilliant combo by Portugal there. They dominate the top lane. They score plenty of points. And you know that you can leave the Crustle down here to handle whatever they come up against. Not an easy lane to deal with, Hyde. You do have a Suicune and a Latios down here. So you've got the stuns, you've got the CC. But we're going to see the Espeon take to the central area of Greece now with the Alchemy Assistants. And look at the stored power ripping through them right now. Both Citrus Berries have had to be used. They can use the stored power to get away from the Wicked Blow with the Throat Chop coming at them as well. That is a brilliant combo for Portugal, and I love the way they're using it.
Yeah, absolutely. The Wicked Blow's going in. There's the Throat Chop. They're looking for the hit, but it's the Alchemy that gets the KO. They survived the massive blow there. Now, all of a sudden, Greece is on the back foot as Portugal is looking to grab, regain their footing in that bottom lane. Blastoise and Blaziken are connecting onto the Steenie, not Serena. You need to get that online. You need to get that going. But 2 level 8 Titans coming through here. They're going to start crashing onto that T1 pad.
Oh, I mean, Greece are trying to do whatever they can to keep in this early game. They at least are getting the central area to the side of their Urshifu, giving some to that Steenie as well. You need Serena here, and you need it quick time, because Portugal have just grabbed that Regidrago. They've got more global experience now. Looks like they can try and get the Blastoise, but the eject button is going to get them out of there, and Greece just can't find anything at the moment.
Blaziken going to be the first Pokemon on the field with their Unite move. That means this Pokemon is fully online, ready to brawl. And then speaking of brawling, it is ready to move into the bottom lane. Greece has limited time to grab the Regirock in this bottom lane. The Wicked Blow's charged up. We go for it. This is the Latios with the secure. That's great for Greece, but Blaziken is now here. Espeon is the first victim of this fight ball. It is a 5v3 scenario. Not ideal for Portugal, but Urshifu falls.
Oh, the Focus Blast to find the Psyduck as well, and it's a triple KO for Blaziken as Portugal come out of that feeling rosy. You may not have got the objective, but you clean up the team fight, and you feel pretty happy as you go for your central area here as well, with that top objective spawning on in. That's where I expect Portugal to go next.
Yeah, you can saw this with top lane, like, guys, you need to come down. Blaziken goes, no, I got this. Hold on. Just a moment here. And there we go. We got it. But Serena versus Blastoise coming in the top here. We do have the Alchemy with nice support, but the Urshifu moving in does have that Ebon Fist Unite move ready to dive in and get a secure onto that Espeon if need be.
Psyduck's going to find Blaziken though, so that's a huge lot of secure that Portugal no longer has, and the Greece are going to answer this pressure by scoring in the bottom lane. Fluffy Cream Supreme's going to come through here for Portugal as they try to find a pick onto these all-rounders. That does absolutely nothing for them though. That was a ridiculous way to use it if you don't have a secure. I mean, it does mean that the rotation can come in from Portugal as they try and send this Blaziken to the top side. Hydro Typhoon's going to be used here as they try and find a Urshifu. Blaziken gets there, and they do find the KO. Now they've got to target this Latios because it's going to continue to get these stacks and find the hits. Still nobody going for the objective as Blaziken begins to hit it.
I think we just saw the way that Greece was able to come into this game. We have 3 very low damage Pokemon here on the side of Portugal. If Greece is able to force Unites out from them, able to force something, that's going to go their way. But this right here, the Blaziken secures the Regieleki. Now they're diving in, they take down the Latios. They're going to go in, the Suicune's in danger. There goes the Queenly Majestic Ascendant coming in, taking down, but no, the Blaziken's able to get away. 2 KO streak for the Blaziken.
Bruh, that is ridiculous. Has somebody lathered that Blaziken in oil or butter or something? Because you just cannot catch it in this game. It's ridiculous as Greece throw everything at Blaziken and still don't find a KO. Dark sneaks away, and Portugal, I mean, they do have control of this map, but the difficulty is they've not scored as many points as Greece. We do have a very close game, and Greece have done a good job at answering by counter laning right now as we see that Eon Blast come through.
Yeah, 105 to 87. Portugal might be behind on points, but they are keeping it close. Quintuple level 10s for Greece, with Portugal edging ahead on the levels there for 11 on Blastoise, 12 on Blaziken. But the Registeel is down here. Overheat is primed, but it's the Urshifu that grabs the last hit. Now they're going 1v1. There's the Ebon Fist with the Wicked Blow. Takes down the Blaziken. Psyduck also falls, but it's Portugal that might be on the back foot here.
Yeah, huge KO onto Blaziken, and now Portugal have to retreat realistically. I don't know why Espeon was going in with no health on its bar, trying to get some stored power damage through, but they just find the KO. There's a Latios on the side of Greece, bro. What are you going to do with that HP?
Oh, apparently go back to Nurse Joy. They said, you know what? Basing took a little too long. The KO will help me a little bit more. I mean, what's better to get experience than defeat the other team just to KO them and get it all back, right?
It's crazy scenes here as we do have this Regieleki about to spawn in the top side. Still a very close game though, Heidi. 105 to 87. It's all going to come down to the Groudon fight as Portugal are looking to pick a fight already in deep in this top side lane. But they're going to get some good zoning in, and they can now lock this Regieleki down.
Blaziken looking to try to grab any sort of points, but Psyduck is stopping it. Regieleki in the top side here. We don't have damage, but we do have a halfway down Ripped. No contestation from Greece. So that means Regieleki will be playing for Portugal here. Possibly our last objective of the map before Groudon here. And yeah, it's going to be the last viable one. Groudon spawning in 33 seconds, Tano.
And there's 4 points between these two teams, but this has been a great response by Greece. Compared to that first game, it felt like Portugal had control of all of it, but Greece have done a good job at counter laning this time and really finding some strong picks as we say goodbye to Espeon in an instant with the adjustments coming out from Psyduck. And now we're 10 seconds away from Groudon. Portugal are looking to get set up for it. They have to rotate quickly to Greece because they don't have a Serena in the fight just yet.
Yeah, and they're already pushing in. Greece is looking for that position in the map there. Both teams are now getting the prompt. They don't know who is in the lead, just that it's a close battle and that it's less than 30 points. So now both teams are looking to possibly make a very dangerous play. They need to realize who might be in the lead, who's got the better one. Anybody keeping track of math? Again, it's only a 4-point game.
And the thing is, every time we see Mara get a good pull on this Psychic, the team isn't there to back it up and find the pick they're looking for. You have a Wicked Blow as Shifu. You've got to use that when that Psychic is pulled on in. You've got to get a good pick and a good setup with it, and that can change the team fight in your favor. Both teams are being so patient right now. There we go. A good example of how that can work as they pull in the Alchemy. But Portugal, they're prepared for the flank here with Blaziken on the left-hand side, Hyde, being so patient with it as we do see that Wicked Blow getting ready to go. Didn't use the Ebon Fist just yet. They had tried to, but they get away. Psychic Solaire's going to come on in. There's the Endless Ice Spikes as well. The Fluffy Cream Supreme's going to keep Portugal in the fight, though. Hydro Typhoon's going to be used, and they haven't found any KOs. They've used every Unite move in their arsenal, and they've only just found the Serena on the side of Greece as we say goodbye to Fast, and Portugal lose their defender and their supporter in an instant.
But they almost lost the Blaziken, but they didn't. It's now back. Groudon is about half HP now. Blastoise very low. Blaziken coming back in. Find the KO on the Latios. They're looking for the Urshifu. It's low, but great pivot over the wall there to save the Urshifu. All of a sudden, Portugal is back in this. Greece is on the back foot. They gotta find something. The overheat's going in. The Urshifu goes down, and it's gonna be Greece that picks up the Groudon with the Suicune secured.
Oh, bro, they were too early on the hit with the overheat. It had so much HP. Greece just stopped hitting it. And now, I don't know, though, because the game is so close. If they can score something here, this will be all to the side of Portugal. It's so close. I think the 96 might do it, Hyde, for Portugal, and they might win the set.
Oh my gosh, it's a buzzer beater for sure. We're going to see what happens right here at the score. It's going to come through, and it's Portugal that takes the set 2-0.
Oh my god, the literal buzzer beater coming in there enables it fast. A brilliant way to respond, and Portugal are going to take the set with a 2-0 record. But you gotta give props to Greece. What a brilliant way to respond after game one and come so close to being able to take us to a game 3, mate.
Oh my gosh, yeah, especially Toto on that Urshifu. They were playing around it really well, utilizing the Latios as well to exert a lot of ranged pressure that the Espeon just wasn't able to do. As we can see, Espeon 59k wasn't able to do as much as it did last time, about half the damage there. It was still very effective in being able to bait out the Urshifu because, again, the stored power gives great mobility, and Urshifu very slow when charging up that Wicked Blow.
Wow, what an effort. I mean, that is it for stage 1, I believe, and that's the first set here today, and it was an absolute beauty. So we've got more for you, chat. I believe we do have the stage 1 graphic that we can bring up for you so you can see how beautiful everything looks after that stage. So we'll get production to bring that up right now, and then we will head to a break before we get the next one ready to go. Here we go. Thank you so much, production. So these are the results after stage 1. Group A, Germany get a 2-0 record and win that group. Greece are there with a 0-2 record, while Portugal currently are 1-1 at the moment. Hyde, take us through Group B.
Group B, we have the oh geez, what's CHE? I'm still getting used to all this EU region.
Switzerland, buddy.
Switzerland! Oh my gosh, I never would have got that from that. But Switzerland's leading at the top with 1-1 there. Also, we have found Spain with 2-0 and the UK at the bottom with 0-2. Going into Group C, we got France leading the pack with 2-0, Tano.
Ooh, that is beautiful, buddy. Looking to get some revenge and win the UAC again. They have been winners before, but they lost it last year. We have Italy currently 0-2, and we have Sweden 1-1 for Group C. I had to get you to go through Group B, buddy, because UK broke my heart last year, and they're starting this as 0-2. Bro, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Bro, I feel it. Listen, I hear you, but you know what? I think we got some UK games today. They are in the last chance qualifier today, so it's going to be interesting to see how they are able to come back out of this, and maybe they still got a shot.
I hope so. It's going to be heartbreaking to cast them if they end up losing. I'm relying on my besties to get themselves through. But nevertheless, let's get to a break so we can set up the next game. We will be back very shortly. Grab yourself a drink. Grab yourself a snack. We'll be back soon. Welcome back, trainers. We've got more action for you as stage 2 kicks off now, and it's Italy looking to take on Greece.
Oh, yeah, we just saw Greece and how they came down to the wire against Portugal. Well, they're not out yet. They're not done. They're ready to keep fighting because Italy is going to bring the heat. And as we just saw from Greece, they're warmed up and they're primed to go.
Yeah, I mean, it literally came down to the wire on that one, Jonathan. So Greece are going to be so frustrated that they didn't end up winning that, and they're not currently playing a game free. If it wasn't for a buzzer beater by Fast, Italy would have won that by 4 points, which is absolutely ridiculous. Greece, would have won that by 4 points, which is absolutely ridiculous. So now they're going to be so frustrated coming into this game with Italy. They might play a little bit angry here.
They might, and we might see some angry Urshifu. We might see some water bear break the barrier as they come in and just like, you know what? To heck with you and all your backlines. And you know what? We might even just see the rage bait. Like, listen, I dare you to pick Espeon because things are going to happen if you pick Espeon.
Oh, that they are. I want to see some more jungle Espeon. So I saw Jose in the EU region take jungle Espeon, and it was a treat last time, but it dominated the game with it. So throw us a little bit of that action. I think that would be really exciting to see as, you know, you've kind of got to do some things here that off-put the other team because we're here in the EU region. All of these players scrim against each other. They play on the same teams as each other. They know each other really well, Jonathan. So you've got to kind of do those kind of things in these cups to really kind of offset your team, like the enemy team, so they don't really know what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the beautiful thing too about these scrims. Like you figure out you can bait people in. You can bait them in. You can be like, oh, we're just gonna play this. This is what we're building. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, you're like, all right, so this kind of works, but now what if we switch this piece with this piece? Now that all of a sudden works so much better, but it's not on our APIs, it's not in our scrim pods, and it's not in the knowledge of these guys. So maybe we just got one over on them.
Oh, here we go. This is Italy, and boy, what a team it is. We have Norami, Brutal Hunter, Frissimo, Faji, and Kree again here on the side of Italy. What a tanky team this is.
Yeah, that is a beautiful lineup to have for sure. We've seen a lot of these players come in time and time again, and now to represent their regions within the European Cup, especially the last chance qualifier, absolutely peak.
Let's have a nosy at their competition. Of course, we do know Greece have just played, but here is their things as well. Kopiani here. We've got Primayani. I'm not even going to know how to pronounce that, buddy. And then we've got Toad, Navia Stokes, Fava, Hooper. They love to give us some random names here, buddy. But we've just seen Greece play, and that was a brilliant game for them.
Yeah, I'm going to take a shot at that. I was going to say Primayarni. Is that how that is? Like Primarina, Primayarni? Oh, maybe. That's how we do it. I gotta love some of the creative names that come through as well. I mean, one of them is a copy, and the other one's a Prima. So, I mean, hey, you got the diva and the copy. That's always great.
Very true. Let's get ready to kick on into this one. Just making sure I'm not having any of the issues there. So, Italy versus Greece. Greece have already shown a little bit of what they like to play in these comps so far, Hyde. Do you expect the same kind of stuff to come out here? They played that Latios, and I think that worked for them very well.
It did. I think what Greece needed to recognize was they needed to fight ranged with a little bit of extra range. What they had before was only a little bit of melee versus melee. They loved their all-rounders going into that. So that was what they really were doing the last two games that we saw against Portugal. So now that they are able to come through, now that they're able to recognize maybe the all-rounder only, or maybe the bulk only of this doesn't always work, maybe we got to get into some of these ranged, because I'll tell you, that Latios really did work for them.
Yeah, let's see if they stick with it here. I mean, Mega Lucario is banned, so that's not going to be the ban that we see coming through here for Italy so far. Leafeon, Blissey, Snorlax, Blastoise, and Zacian by Greece. So, and it's going to be the Suicune. So Greece are like, we know what just worked against us very much. We're going to ban them all out here.
Yeah, because I guess they're like, hey, Italy saw our match against Portugal. We know this is what they want to do. And no, we're not going to let it happen. But, Tano, Darkrai is now up. It's on the field. Brutal Hunter doesn't take it, but Greece, it's on the field for them. this could be a Pokemon that they bring in that we haven't got to see a whole lot of since the Battle Pass update.
Buddy, I have played against Brutal Hunter in many games because I've been playing this game since it released. So has Brutal. We constantly go against each other in solo and 5-stack. They are an incredible Buzzwole player. So picking that up as a #1 pick here for Italy, you are already getting set off on a brilliant foot. Kree again is going to get access to their fantastic Crustle, and Paggi's going to bring out the Miraidon here. Greece have tried to answer. They've got access to that Darkrai as you mentioned. Todo is going to be very comfortable on that. It has had buffs. It's very strong at the moment, but Italy are already getting prepared with everything they could possibly want as this team.
Yeah, but Greece is falling back into that comfort with the Serena that was banned out for them the last time by Portugal. They knew something about it, but they were able to shut it down game 2. Serena's going to come in now on Arnie, and they're hopefully going to be doing really well along with the Slowbro. It doth my eyes deceive me, Narami! You beautiful, beautiful soul!
Yep, Narami's Sableye is coming out onto the field. I love this pick. I love the disruption they're going to cause. I love the tankiness that's going to come to their team with that little addition there. And they're going to range it out on the side of Greece with a Venusaur. Keep an eye on those held items. Is it going to be Beam? Is it going to be Petal Dance? I suspect Beam with the items that we currently have. And I think that would be brilliant here because you've got to combat the range coming in from that Miraidon. And that's kind of one of the few things that does pair up with the range that Miraidon has.
Yeah, and the other thing you have to punish on Italy, the side of Italy as well, is the lack of a healer. Hoopa at least has the hyperspace portals to send people back to the home pad to get the heals there. But Sableye, they don't have any sort of healing to provide their team. Blaziken has some built-in healing. Buzzwole has a little bit of built-in healing, but they gotta hit the front lines and they gotta actually hit Pokemon in order to trigger those healing mechanics within their moves. So as they come through this match, I think this Venusaur is going to be incredibly devastating for Italy, especially when we get to the Groudon fight and it starts poking them out.
The other side of it is a Pokemon like Darkrai is just from the get-go a very strong Pokemon. You will get Power Spikes as you level up, but just as soon as the gates open on Fire Sky Ruins, it's a brilliant Pokemon. So I like the way that they've built their team here. They've thought about the early game, they've thought about the late game, and it's just going to be difficult for them to handle that damage coming in from that sleep, pairing it with what could be a Sludge Bomb, Venusaur with the beam as well. There's a lot of damage coming out from this side of Greece and Italy, and I cannot wait to see where this one comes up with.
Yeah, especially with the Sableye. I mean, if the Darkrai goes into the central path, Sableye is a prime target to go into the invade. If it doesn't get too close to get taken down by the KO on itself, it could be able to stall a lot of time, making that Darkrai not able to hit the central lanes in time for those 850 birds.
So no surprises here. It's going to be Brutal Hunter taking that top lane. It's going to be an invade coming out from Narami already. They do prepare for it by sending in the Slowbro with the Darkrai, trying to make sure that they have that prepared. You know what Narami's going to do when they pick up Sableye, Hyde.
Yeah, they're going to go straight for the in, already taunting them by triggering the passive there, which allows them says, hey, there's a Sableye nearby, but we don't know where. But the trade-off by sending the Slowpoke into that central lane there is that the Bulbasaur is alone against not just a Dwebble, but a Miraidon.
Not an easy task, and to be fair though, Buzzwole's done well in the top side. If they can hit those higher levels, but Greece stopping them from doing so. Combustion's going to come on in. Down here, they do manage to get Crustle online. Kree again is in a comfortable position as they look to find their hit onto Hooper. Narami stops the retreat, and Italy find a way to get their first Power Spikes online.
Yeah, Combustion's in trouble, though, as the Darkrai's able to put it to sleep and deal massive damage to it. But the Steenie is looking for level 5, but the Combustion says you're going to have to look elsewhere, because these birds are mine.
Ooh, there goes the terrain down on the field. Not going to be helping them too much just yet, as Narami again. These are the rotations that Greece are really going to struggle with, because the stuns are going to be left, right, and center. They're going to be taking every kind of area of this map as they can. Damage getting prepared here on the side of Miraidon. The charge being nearly ready, but they've got to get away from this Darkrai. Enhanced is going to come on through, looking to put them to sleep. They're looking for the KO, but the stuns from Narami are going to be enough. But Slowbro finds the KO, and now they're on the field feeling big boy, and they go on the retreat until Crustle stops them dead in their tracks.
Yeah, that you don't want to be a level 3 slowpoke forever, so you getting onto that slow bro early is going to be crucial. That means you're no longer going to be evil locked. As we stabilize KO on the Steenie, is going to allow the Buzzwole to come in, pick up the Hoopa as it comes back through the portal, almost like it didn't need to go through in the first place, or come back in the first place there, because I'll tell you right now, Buzzwole was waiting for that.
They've hit level 5 now as well, so that is a dangerous Buzzwole to get close to. Not having Venusaur just yet, and they're just going to manhandle that Hooper with no complaints whatsoever. Italy have sent everything into the top side here, leaving Miraidon to defend down there. Blaziken's going to find the hit onto Darkrai, and without that damage now in this lane, it's an easy cleanup for Italy as they find the KOs onto the side of Greece. Not a lot that this poor Ivysaur can do. It's a triple KO for Blaziken, and they reign in plenty of points and break it with a decent overcap.
Yeah, the front lines of Greece are small in number and a little bit frailer than they had hoped. The level gap is now starting to grow between Italy and Greece, and Greece has now got to find a way to come back into this. We have our first objectives for the 7-minute mark coming up now. Regieleki in the top lane, keeping things OG. Meanwhile, we got our first of the Reggie Roulette down in the bottom.
Ooh, looking to find a hit onto that Crustle, not able to, and they just walk into the kick of Blaziken. They do manage to just about get away, but up in the top side, it's all Italy as they find the KO onto Hooper. They've got a minute and a half before that springboard is even in here, Hyde, and that Lecky is pushing that T2 pad. Good steal comes out with a beam from Venusaur. Regi's to the side of Greece, but they need help in this top side, and they need it desperately as Blaziken is going to, in fact, Buzzwole's going to find the KO, and that's just going to walk in for Italy.
Not just that, but that point's going to go in. 3 points in, another stack for Buzzwole, and that's the pad broken. That's going to be a straight shot for all future Regielekis going to the home pad of Greece. This is not a position I envy them to be in right now, Tano, because this could be the win condition Italy is looking for, and it's already set up within the first 4 minutes of the game.
Yeah, that's pretty tough, buddy. Greece now, they have to defend in this bottom lane. They've got to respond to where that Blaziken is. That's usually the push that Italy is making, but what that's meant is that this Buzzwole uncontested in the top lane, buddy. They've hit level 10. They've got plenty of stacks, and Greece have struggled up against it as Darkrai tries to find the KO onto them now, but they are paired up with Narami as well. Down here, though, Greece just trying to throw everything to defend this pad. Todo has been caught out. They dash through the wall, but it's going to be the eject button with the overheat. Narami does get put into the worst nightmare here. Let's see who comes out of this one. Looks like it is going to be the Darkrai. So weak, though, as they look to see if they can find him. Todo's going to get away.
That was a great escape, but it did burn a valuable resource in that Unite move. Slowbeam's going to come out and rock down Brutal, though. Are they going to be able to pick up the KO because of it? No, the Slowbro was not able to lock it down long enough for Greece to capitalize on it. Now they're going to be able to pull back as the Serena gets KO'd, but huge Solar Beam coming out here, hitting Sivo, locking them down and making them to go into the back onto the retreat.
That is a huge misplay by Greece. If you are going to use that slow beam, you have to have the team around you to find the KO. Brutal walking out of that is a huge misplay because now you've got your most important Unite move with no utility out of it, no benefit for using it as they look to push this pad now to Italy. They do use the small slam to take down Slowbro. Big beam is going to come on through, but it's just going to be absorbed by the Rubble Rouser. They find the KO onto the Crustle, but they pulled so many out of it anyway. The Chaos Glow is going to land, but the damage comes through and they break out of that curse as they go for the hits onto the Regirock. Italy are winning every team fight they take here, Hyde.
Yeah, they are indeed, but they're also still on the back foot there. They're looking for a way to come in, but there it is. Now they grab the advantage there with the Miraidon on low HP. The Serena's looking for it. They're hunting it down, but Brutal Hunter hunted down the Serena, and now they're moving on to the Regirock as Regirock gets his infamous KO on the Miraidon.
Yeah, I mean, legendary Pokemon what? Regirock comes out on top as that Regieleki is pushing the home pad. Greece are going to be able to defend that, but it just means a lot of their farm is going to be open. And it looks like we're going to see at least Crustle showing face here in the central areas. Narami continues to get vision, and the rotation from Italy is already coming through. Buddy, look where Blaziken is. Look where Buzzwole is as they look to find more KOs.
Yeah, and as they're going to be coming in and looking for those KOs, Reggie Drago is going to spawn on the field. Blaziken is already starting to rip it for Italy. They are now in a very controlling path within this game, especially with the map presence. Greece has to try to find a way to break it, but by scoring 40 into the home pad, one of the advantages for Italy to have it open.
Oh, that is tough. Any home pad scoring you just can't answer back to, because no matter what, you have to do the same to them, and Italy have plenty of pads still open. It is not an easy task right now. They have to go for some of these objectives, find a little bit more. They're managing to keep up with a couple of these levels. Serena's hit level 13 here, and the points when we get down to final stretch, there is a tier 1 up on the side of Italy. That could be easy. They've got to take the ground on fight. That's what it's all about, as the enhanced charge beam is going to come through here. Doesn't find anybody with it, but they are just itching to get at each other here.
They are, but they're already going in. Greece is waiting for an opportunity to come in. Darkright's looking for a flank, but we have 5 seconds now until Groudon is in. 115 points now for the side of Greece, 330 for the side of Italy. Italy with a massive lead here. They got to find a way to keep it, and Greece got to find a way to get back into this.
That they do. 145. Let's see how it goes, as the big beam's going to come on through to find Crustle there. They're now half health, but Greece are being a little bit patient with it here, trying to see if they can get round for a flank on the side of Serena. As they do, Rubble Rouser is going to absorb all that damage though, and they're not concerned. Bright Future Meteor Storm going to buy a little bit of space for Italy here, and the slow beam does go onto Brutal. Huge beam comes through alongside the Verdant Anger, but it's not enough Hyde. If they can't take down this Buzzwole, they're going to have a nightmare of a mission to do so, but they find Crustle. Brutal is going to get so weak, but they still come out on top as Blaziken finds the KO. It's a double on the side of Hooper as well. Not a lot that Toto can do, but go back to Nurse Joy as Italy has aced Greece at the Groudon fight.
Yeah, at this point, they don't even need the Groudon anymore. They're just going straight for the scores. But they do see the Hoopa and that the Venusaur are back, so they're going to take the time to reset. Grab the points. Sableye can easily get that 47 cap into the home pad if it really wanted to, and it might be looking for that opportunity. Looking to keep vision on them. Look at these respawn timers in. Greece is now back, but they're not in a better position. The only Unite move they have is the Serena.
And that, I mean, it's not going to be enough. It takes one Pokemon out of the fight, but the rest of Italy are still there to drop the damage while you do that. Looking to do just that, though, as Miraidon is going to fall. A perfect beam comes through as they find Crustle as well. Greece has found a way to get themselves back into it, but Narami is going to go score in the home pad. Toto's going to try and counter score, but right now with 10 seconds left, Hyde, it's not enough points, not enough time. Italy is going to take game 1.
They absolutely will. Greece was not able to keep up with the pressure that Sableye, Blaziken were able to exert throughout the fight. Sableye doing a great job at the end there, ignoring the gremlin inside of it to go back at, and instead aiming to get the vision that they needed for the team. That is the spy that they really needed to figure out where Greece was setting up so that they have the opportunity to counter set up themselves with to take any sort of fight Greece was looking for.
That was brilliant. I feel like another back and forth really between these two teams. That second fight was so good for Greece. They finally found a way to break the line of Italy. But unfortunately, too little too late, buddy. They didn't have enough time to do anything else with it. Toto recognized that, ran to try and score some points, but Narami was well on their way to scoring more in the home pad to lock in the win for themselves. So Italy are going to take game 1, and Greece are looking again to be on the back of this set. They have to take this next game if they want to stay alive in this competition.
They do indeed. And again, this is a best of 3. Like you said, Tano, they are still alive. They got to win 2 more games. They got to win them back to back. But let's focus on the next one. Going into the next draft here as well. I mean, we banned the Blastoise, the Zacian, and the Suicune, but that was what Portugal used against Greece to be very effective. Now, we don't know if a lot of these Pokemon are in the hands of Italy. So I do believe that when we come down to it, when we look at the draft there, I think that's where Greece is going to make the biggest pivots, is in their bans.
This is ridiculous, mate. 2 Unite moves onto Brutal Hunter here. Although I think that Darkrai one actually didn't go onto Brutal Hunter, but it was a Verdant Anger with a slow beam, and still Brutal is well happy standing. They're at half health at that stage here. Ridiculous to come out of that feeling that happy. And Greece, they didn't get enough from that engagement there. If you use a Verdant Anger, you have to be finding some KOs on the back of that.
Yeah, Italy did a great job being able to separate them as well, keeping Greece not united, but away from each other. They finally took down Brutal and Miraidon and the Crustle. They found the KOs they needed, but that was way too late as the countdown goes through. Blaziken and Sableye finally already scored their points. Greece was just too late to the table there.
Now, you do bring up an interesting point. Of course, Greece were reacting to their game against Portugal, whilst all the things that they banned are very strong in the game at the moment. But you do have to think about who they're coming up against. Brutal Hunter is well known in this region for their Buzzwole, for their strong all-rounders like their Zacians. So he's definitely a kind of player that you need to target on the side of Italy if you can. Very strong player, and they usually build around that one player. So let's see if they do respond in kind with that plan as we go on into the second ban phase.
Yeah, they really got to pull it together there because, again, like as they said, like you said, they reacted to in the before. And if we got a strong all-rounder there on the side of Italy, yeah, you got to target ban them because that's just not going to be something you want to do. But we already got the Blastoise and we've already got the Zacian coming out as the bans against Italy. We got Leafeon and Suicune now coming back in for Italy there. And it looks like Capiarni's going to be banning the Buzzwole.
Yep, makes sense. Fair play. You've got to take that away from Brutal Hunter. And on the other side of Italy, I mean, Leafeon, Suicune, let's see what the final is going to be. Looks like it's going to be that Blissey, and they are the state of our bans now. I love how they stick with the Zacian on the side of Greece. But what are you going to pick up first here? They do have a usual pick up of the Hooper if they can to take that away from Italy.
Yeah, but they're coming through here now. They have first pick. And again, once more, Darkrai is available. Father Hoopa, Greece, going to be picking up the Hoopa. They don't want it in the hands of Italy, but it does open up Darkrai to go into the hands of Narami.
Bro, this game is so crazy. Like last week, it was like first pick was on a completely different Pokemon. I think it was Raichu in the games that I was casting. Now it's just downright Darkrai. No matter what is going to be the first pick if it comes through. Kree is going to pick up the Snorlax as well. Kopayami is here with the Crustle. So it feels like teams are going back to their usual picks. Let's see if they try and take anything away, because the Venusaur would be a cheeky steal here.
And that's exactly what they're doing. They're taking that Venusaur. They're going to go in Venusaur Crustle. They're definitely locking in their core, and they're going to say, you know what? This is going to be the Venusaur. Maybe they might be trying to bait in some speedsters there, or trying to get some backline assassins from Italy. Try to break up the bulky core that they built for themselves.
So, Serena and Garchomp. No, Metagross for Italy here. I love the Metagross pick. We say it every time we're casting together, but it's one of my favorite picks to pull out on the side of all-rounders. They don't really have like the 1v1s that it's looking for at the moment. Let's see what Greece round it out with, but they've still got themselves a very good comp on the side of Italy.
Yeah, that's absolutely going to be a monster, especially with the Metagross there. The crushing compute is going to come through. Simo is still got a pick there. We could pick an AoE attacker. Miraidon goes well with it, but Toto's going to pick that up for Greece.
Ooh, okay. Now what are they looking for ranged-wise? You do have the Mew, which is not only a great ranged attacker, but it's also perfect for utility. But no, Talonflame is going to be brought onto the field. That is a great pick here. You have 3 main targets that will work really well for you, and it looks like Brutal is going to have access to the Talonflame, and you have a support Darkrai here as well, Hyde. I think Italy have counter-picked Greece quite well in this comp.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do agree with that. It's going to be nasty to come into this. I do think the Blaziken's going to be a strong pick, but the Talonflame, that Talonflame is what's going to be the key here, I believe, for the side of Italy. Getting on top of the Venusaur, getting on top of the Miraidon. There are just too many targets and not enough punishments on the side of Greece to really stop it.
This is going to be an interesting one. If they can get things online quickly on the side of Greece, they will be able to keep themselves in it. It's all about winning this early game because Brutal, I suspect, will be taking the central area for them over on that side, and Narami is obviously on the support. Darkrai, you don't have to get those levels so much on the side of a Darkrai because it's all about the utility of getting them slept and cause that hindrance for your team to be able to clean up with. So not an easy target on the side of Brutal Hunter's team here, because right now Italy, I think, have the better comp, but Greece, we've seen it in that second game already, Hyde. They were so aggressive and they really found a way to get themselves back into it.
They did indeed, and I think that's exactly what the key is going to be, like you said, Tano, as they come into this game number 2. All or nothing is on the line for them. They got to find a way to win one of these games because you don't want to go 2 sets 2-0. It's going to be the Bulbasaur into the jungle there for the side of Greece. Meanwhile, Beldon's going to be taking the central lane for Italy.
Yeah, that's so interesting, and actually I kind of like it. Acrobatics is such a good secure anyway on this Talonflame, so take it into the lane and try and take the farm away and allow your Metang to get that Gyro Ball very early. So it's an interesting strategy by Italy. Let's see if it plays off for them.
Yeah, and already we're going for nice pressure here from the side of Greece. Miraidon's eating almost everything. Snorlax finally getting that last secure. We do have Brutal here on that Talonflame. They're already looking to try to get something out, but Simo is now on the top lane here, 15 seconds away from the 850 birds here, as we now have our lines drawn and our teams are finally getting ready to take them.
Getting the boosted ready on the side of Simo as well. We'll see if it is going to be Gyro Ball. I fully expect it to be. Crustle is online now for Greece as they do come in, and it is going to be Gyro Ball. All of that farm is taken by Greece, although they do get a little bit on the side of Arnie as they get prepared on the Combusken. They dive through with the Gyro Ball. Has to use the eject button, but a basic is going to find them. They got way too ambitious with it, and they get KO'd, but Fletchinder is at least on the field.
Yeah, listen, if there's one thing a basic attack will do is it will hunt you down and find you no matter where you are on the map once it locks onto you. You can go the distance, but it will still get you in the end. That is one of the brutal things about it. But 12 seconds now until Reggie Drago is on the field, the first objective. But already, KO on Destiny. Crustle's going to go score for 3. Snorlax has to back off, and Miraidon now reaching a crucial level 7.
Yeah, this is great by Greece. What a way to open the gates here as they score 30 points. We are at the 8-minute mark, so that Regidrago is going to rotate down to the bottom lane first as Italy put a lot more importance on finding the power levels on their strong carries. Metagross is still looking for a little bit of farm as they look to go to the central area of Greece. Does not find anything up, so they're going to go for the hits onto the Regidrago.
Yeah, but that means we are 16 seconds away now from the 720 birds. Another crucial point of experience for our teams here. Italy is going to get the Regidrago uncontested. That's going to give the Talonflame their evolution. Fly is now on the table as they come in. Hoopak has to pull out the portal there. And Combusken doing everything in its arsenal to try to become a Blaziken, but Metang says no.
Now this is where the game gets a little bit more difficult for Greece. They've got a Fly Talonflame to contend with. Not too far from Metagross either. This is all going to be about how well Todoroki can keep themselves away from this Talonflame on the Miraidon and enable those tanks to find the pick. Steenie is going to be taken down here as Greece finds the KO yet again. The fact that they are struggling to get Serena online is working in Greece's favor because that central area is still needed by their carries.
And the Pokemon they were struggling with to get online on the side of Greece is the Combusken, but it's now a big old Blaziken, ready to brawl, ready to rumble, and ready to find this Darkrai.
60 points unanswered so far by Greece. Donut Store still open by Italy. Regice is going to be found again with Venusaur getting that secure. Snorlax is going to get themselves back to the pad as Fly was looking for a hit. We do see the approach coming in here from Simon that they do get hit by the wall. They don't find anything with the Gyro Ball and they're going to go for a bit of damage onto the Regieleki here. Italy trying to be really aggressive with it, but Greece are well prepared. They wall them off and they're not too concerned about this. Miraidon is left in the bottom lane to score plenty of points and get those stacks.
Yeah, these stacks are going to be crucial because it's just experience for the Miraidon, which is going to help further its lead even more at level 9. But it just used the bright future Meteor Storm to defend that bottom pad, as Italy is now crashing it, but the Regieleki crashes in the top. 180 to 44 for the side of Greece. They are commanding this point lead, and they're running away with it.
This is great. We saw this in the previous set, buddy. Greece, they coming into this second game, they play it so aggressively. They've managed to keep themselves in it from the early game, coming up against the two speedsters. Now they've got more points in as well, as we're about to hit the 5-minute mark. They've just got to keep this pressure up, keep prepared to constantly swap these lanes so that you can answer to what Italy is bringing to you. It's all about being in the lead as you come into that Groudon fight.
Yeah, but we do coming into this next fight here for a possible team fight. We got the Hoopa online and the Crustal. So wherever the Hoopa is, they're going to be able to portal their team in very quickly. But Serena, I just want to say Serena was level 5 like a minute and a half ago. Now she's level 9, almost level 10. Whatever Italy did to beef and feed that Serena up, they did a really good job doing it and getting it online, because now it is one of the biggest Pokemon on the field.
Yeah, it just makes it an even more difficult mission for Greece, but they are responding well so far. They find the KO onto Talonflame in the top lane, so more points going in with the Blaziken there. This bottom lane Reggie about to spawn in. It's a Reggie steal. They make a huge pick onto the Metagross. Serena trying to see if they can find this Venusaur. Queenly Ascendant begging Neil back to Nurse Joy, but the damage is raining on down as they look to find the Blaziken. Back onto the pad it goes. Reggie still being ripped. Here comes the fly, but it's Crustle that finds it anyway. Who needs a bird when it's going to be the crab that takes it? And Greece come out of that on top yet again.
Yeah, Blaziken put to sleep by the Darkrai here as the Darkrai now goes to defend. Blaziken is now stuck in the worst nightmare, going down into that 1 HP. Darkrai comes out victorious. Talonflame comes in with the Flame Sweep to push the entirety of Greece away from Italy's T1 pad. All of a sudden, the momentum has shifted, and now we're in a stalemate.
That we are. 217 points to 54 so far, though. Greece is going to be quite happy with that stalemate, but now more points rain on in as Italy look to cut that lead down. Regidrago about to spawn in the central area. We have a Regieleki ready in the top lane as well, but it seems like both teams are more concentrating on fighting each other, Hyde.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a very brawly game. I mean, look at the levels here. Level 12 on the Venusaur Miraidon. Only 2 level 12s on the side of Italy as well. Serena and Metagross. The shift. Blaziken has been a dominant force this entire game for the side of Greece, but it's only now with the capture of Regieleki hitting 12 that it seems like Greece is falling behind on levels, and Italy is finding the secret sauce on how to get ahead. But the Blaziken's able to KO the Talonflame. They're going to break this pad here, and we don't have another Regieleki this game, but this is massive points now for the side of Greece.
Oh, they managed to get away from Annie here, and Brutal has not been having a good day when they come up matched against that Blaziken. I am yet to see them win that fight as Annie comes out on top of it again, looking for more as well, but Italy finally finds the KO, send them back to the Pokemon Center, and 30 seconds out from Groudon taking to the field, we will have a bottom Reggie buff. They've got 10 seconds to rip it if they so wish. They have the team for it, but they got to continue to defend these goals as well as they look to quickly rotate to the Talonflame.
Talonflame breaks the top T1 with 1 point over, giving more Pokemon to the side of Greece to capture into their wild area there. Darkrai is very deep, gets found out by that Thunder, and it's going to go down, and it's going to be in a trouble, but Dark Pulse is going to help it get away. Blaziken finds the Metagross as the Crushing Compute comes down. Blaziken's going on top of it, looking to take down the Metagross. The Metagross is gone, but the Blaziken was taken down by the Darkrai as well.
Massive pick. Miraidon's going to fall as well as Brutal finds the KOs. And right now, Greece are struggling. They don't have the carries on their side yet. They've got the Venusaur, but not a lot to protect it. As Kobayami's trying to get in front and make sure that they have the beam coming on through. But Darkrai has found the Crustle. They're so weak at the moment, getting ready to pop on in as the rings are let loose on the side of Hooper. Italy now trying to hold strong as Bright Future Meteor Storm is going to rain on down on the side of Greece. Rubble Rouser connects the worst Nightmare is going to keep Darkrai on the field, although they don't find the KO onto Crustle. This Talonflame is sent back to the Pokemon Center. Crustle defeats Darkrai, and Italy are now on the back foot, but they finally defeat Crustle, and without Blaziken being on the fight, Hooper is going to go score some back caps here. Greece continue to extend their lead while Italy go for the rip onto the Groudon, but Miraidon is here with an enhanced charge beam, buddy. They continue with the rip, with the Serena being in the middle of this pit, getting ready with the Gyro Ball, but it's taken by Greece. It's going to be Hooper that finds Groudon, and right now they're still in the lead.
They are 352 to 135. 30 seconds on the clock now. They can either make a push or they can pull back. They got to find a way to keep pressure on Italy so that way they're a sneaky cap or a good push is all out for them there. Fly comes in and stops the Venusaur, but the Hoopa Portal is going to be come in right there. Huge damage from Venusaur and Miraidon. Going to take down not one, not two, but 5 members of Italy. Scores are going in. We're going to a Game 3 title as Greece takes Game 2.
What a brilliant response by this team yet again. They lock in for Game 2. They take us to a Game 3. And I was looking at the comp on the side of Italy, and I was like, that is a concerning comp to come up against. But what a way for them to find their power spikes. And Todoroki, fair play to them. They managed to stay out of the way of Italy as much as they could with those enhanced charge beams. It worked a treat for them as we see them get 9 KOs and 6 assists.
Yeah, I think the Rami was just all over the place. Bro was in the back lines as the secret assassin coming in. The speedster that it is, being able to take down and stall for a lot of time. In fact, right at the end there, it was able to lock down the Crustle inside the worst nightmare and then just hide out in its dark pulse, just wasting time, not even trying to go for the KO. But it was all for naught because it wasn't able to do a whole lot. And in fact, Greece was able to utilize not one, but 2 of their ranged Pokemon that they brought into this match and just absolutely demolish Italy in the final stage, in the final fight against in this game.
Yeah, the thing is, what's difficult is that, I mean, when you have range attackers that are doing like, 25-30% of the team's damage, and they are only taking 15% of the team's damage, like, that is what you want from your ranged attackers, and that's what Greece did with both of theirs in that game. And on top of that, I did feel like on the side of Italy, Metagross went a little bit too deep at that Groudon fight, looking to find a fight. They used the Compute and Crush. It only connects onto one Pokemon, so no stadium even goes up. Didn't scan enough people hide, so that was kind of a little bit of a misplay because Italy ended up really deep in the central area of Greece.
Yeah, I think they jumped the gun. They got their, they just went right ahead. They're like, all right, we're behind. And again, that's the pressure that the Groudon fight presents to yourselves. I mean, look right here. We're seeing exactly that. Goes too deep, gets taken down. Now they're coming through. We got the Crustle not hitting anything, but the Darkrai is able to get away. But this is one of the beautiful things about the Groudon fight, as I was saying, Tano, because when you are feeling that pressure, when you're feeling that pressure, you are now on the back foot, and this is where you're more liable to make mistakes. And Italy made a mistake, and it only takes one, and Greece capitalized on it.
I mean, I'm very happy for Greece. I feel like the game against Portugal, they were so close to taking us to a Game 3 there as well. They've played so well. They definitely deserve what we've got coming up, and it makes me very happy to see 2 1s down there in the Sableye eyes. Just looking at that is aesthetically pleasing as we get ready for Game 3 here, buddy. But how are Italy going to respond? Because they are known for being a really aggressive team. Brutal Hunter is known for being a really aggressive all-rounder, but they were there on the Talonflame this time. Found some good picks, but they had a nightmare going up against that Blaziken.
Well, they found their secret sauce in Greece in game. And what they were able to do is they were able to utilize the pressure of their melee Pokemon to shut down Greece. And Greece was able to pivot and say, you know what, we need some ranged attackers. So one of the ways to pivot would be to take away some of those ranged attackers from Greece, whether it's through a ban, whether it's through a pick, or whether it's shutting it down with a counter pick and saying, we're going to take this Pokemon early on, and if you take any of these other ranged attackers, we're going to punish you hard for it.
Now let's see what their bans are going to be. Greece is sticking with those all-rounders. I'd imagine this is going to be... No, Suicune. Ooh, that opens up Buzzwole for Italy to take if Brutal Hunter wants to go back to their core Pokemon.
Yeah, Brutal could be back on that Buzzwall there. It's a massive, massive threat, and it worked really well against Grease. And it's going straight there. Darkrai, Snorlax, no way. Buzzwall, yes, sir. Give it to us. We want it.
If they, I suspect they're going to come out with like an Eldegoss or something like that to pair with it as well. That is going to be a nightmare for Grease because that's like the perfect combo. Even, I mean, Blissy's banned, so take the Eldegoss. That would be huge. We do have Crustle now on the side of Grease. They know that Kree again loves to play that Crustle, so take that away. And that is why we see Eldegoss picked up on the side of Grease now, Hyde.
Yeah, but hey, Grease might have done me a favor because if they didn't pick up that Eldegoss, I might not have seen it. Oh, Narami, you baited me. Swapped with Kree into the Mammothspine, and Poggy's going to be taking that Lowland Raichu. Actually, I'd love to see it. No, the Miraidon. Wow. Wow, Italy, you're going to do that to me?
I'm actually surprised we haven't seen any Alolan Raichu. Like, I might find it an ugly Pokemon, and yes, chat's gonna hate me for saying that, but it is so strong in this game, buddy, and I feel like stronger than Miraidon, although Miraidon in a very good place. I think it's the range that Miraidon has, and of course, it's a great Unite move as well, that they seem to be finding it to be the more important Pokemon to take, as Grease are gonna go with their own ranged attacker. They bring out the Venusaur range again, and Serena is back on the field with Arnie.
Yeah, Serena's there, Venusaur's there, but also Narami's bringing back the Sableye. Simo's bringing back the Blaziken. We got a classic comp here from Italy, a lot of the repeat Pokemon from game number 1. And I'm just rooting for the Sableye. I'm sorry, like I gotta be a little biased. My little gremlin boy, he can play for any team, and I'm rooting for it because there's a lot of beautiful things that we've seen Narami do with this Sableye.
Very strong comp on the side of Italy, and that Narami Sableye is now going to be even more important because Todoroki has brought out the Glaceon, a strong Pokemon, one that they're very good at playing and really good at picking up these all-rounders, picking up that Mammothswine. That is going to be a very hard target for them to find. Narami's mission is to get that passive off the side of that Glaceon.
Yeah, exactly. Once that passive is gone, that's going to allow Brutal to come in and absolutely brutalize Toto on that because that Glaceon has very squishy HP, very low HP. But hopefully Grease is able to find their footing with this as well. They love crackers, and when you have an auto-slinging, an icicle spearing Glaceon on your team that's just able to hunt down anybody no matter how far they go. It's not just an auto, it is a move that's a sure hit. It's a shredder. There's a reason people hate Glaceon.
There is. I'm kind of half and half because I didn't like Glaceon as an evolution until they brought Glaceon into Pokemon Unite, and then playing it, I was like, this is actually a really cute Pokemon. I like this Pokemon a lot. But then it was that meta where it was Mr. Mime, Glaceon, and Mew that was complete. Bro, I nearly uninstalled the game that day.
Oh, I feel you there. Hopefully nobody here on either team has that kind of crash out there, but we do have the Dwebble going in with the pairing up with the Glaceon, and all of a sudden Sableye is looking at this and going, hey, what's up?
Straight back into that central area as Narami does what Narami does best. In the meantime, though, Brutal does what Brutal does best, finds the first KO. Kopiyami has to use the X-Speed to get themselves away, but they do find a stack.
Yeah, that's the one thing you're thinking, like, you know what? It's just 2 points. I can get those 2 points in, but Buzzwole, full muscle gauge Buzzwole does a lot more damage than you think it does, especially early on. Already the passive is broken. We go for the kidnap, but it's not able to make it. Combuskin going to be in the top lane here. 10 seconds away from our 850Bs. It is going to be 3v3 against our teams here.
Thing is with Glaceon is that you are actually looking for that level 6 before you do get the power spike that you want, buddy. So that's what they're going to be waiting for. Not too far off it at the moment as Narami is going to be taken down. Combuskin back to the pad, but we've got level 5 on this Buzzwole. Brutal is going to be using the Pokemon as weights all day long.
Yeah, lifting it up, bench pressing Serenas, bench pressing Bulbasaurs, bench pressing Crustles all day long, at least for the next 8.5 minutes now. We do have great pressure from Italy, from the Miraidon. It's like we're just seeing a mimicry of what happened with Greece down here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by how much this Miraidon has been prioritized in today's games, as Todo's going to come into this lane, gets the spears onto the Miraidon, and it doesn't matter. You ain't escaping that one, buddy, as they find the KO. Crustle is on the field as Regidrago joins us.
Yeah, that Eldegoss is going to be on the receiving end of Buzzwall's super powers. As we're coming in, Pilot Swine's going to join our all-rounders in the top and the Sableye. They're looking for the KOs. That's one down already. That's two down, one for each. And now the points are raining in as Italy has shifted the power to them. And now they're getting stacks and scores and momentum.
That is not what you want to happen. Italy now has pretty much full stacked all-rounders. Not far off the Unite moves. You've got it on the Blaziken. That is tough. Now it is really important for Todoroki to get the rip through onto the side of those all-rounders. But look what Narami's doing. Finds the passive yet again. Finds the weakness onto the side of the Ivysaur that Miraidon can get the KO on. As the objectives are about to spawn onto Faya Sky Ruins, Italy has more control at the moment.
Yeah, the Regidrago. I was going to say Groudon. No, we're too early for that, Tana. The Regidrago is going to go to the side of Italy. Miraidon picking up the KO on that to secure. Glaceon's doing everything it can, but it's very deep. All of a sudden, it's in trouble. The passive is broken. Miraidon gets the KO. Now we got the Crust, so we're moving on to it. Got to wait for those charge beams to stack back up because you can only fire off so many.
That you can. They're going for the rip on the bottom. Reggie here, while Brutal is going to go for the top one. Reggie locked in. They got the Regidrago. They're going to get the Regieleki. Narami scoring another 30 dunk into this pad. It's all coming up Italy in this game so far as Todoroki goes for the dive onto the side of Narami, blocks them off, uses the Glacial Spear for it, and in fact, this Lecky might not be taken. They do. The superpower connects, and they do manage to grab it. Here comes the Swole Slam landing onto Todoroki, but they manage to get away. The slow is too much from the side of Serena, and that is a huge pickup by Greece.
As this Glaceon is growing in power and levels, as the game goes on, Italy is slowly losing momentum against what they had against Greece. Greece is finding their position back into this game. As we now collapse, here's the Regieleki. The Verdant Acre is coming out. The Regieleki's trying to go down, but now it's locked in as Mamoswine gets a single point in. Not going to be enough to evolve here as the Blaziken gets out on 1 HP in a dream. Praying the birds don't take it down.
Yeah, you know what? I had visions for a moment then, but no, they're better players than we give them credit for. They knew what was going to happen with the shield, buddy. But yeah, you are right. Greece have found a way to get a little bit more out of this game now, and Todoroki is 100% the answer. Italy have struggled to deal with them, even when they are on point with them, and Narami's broken the passive.
Yeah, Serena hasn't been able to get many stacks at all this game, and that's what they're going to be doing in the top lane. But Italy might be looking to take advantage of that. Serena's on the other side of the map as they're coming down. The Bright Future Meteor Storm's coming out, takes down the Crustle, takes down the Buzzwall here on the Eldegoss there. Now we're moving in. We're going to break this pad and further our lead to 242-71.
Again, the passive was broken on the side of Todoroki using the Thunder from Miraidon, so they're going to have to wait for that to come back online, and that is why Brutal is going straight into that central area, trying to see if they can find something. Narami's there with the stuns as well. In here, though, they're trying to continue with the pressure, with the Serena already in the side of Italy's central area as well. Brutal is going to find the buffs, try and get on out, but the lock-in is here on the side of Todoroki. They're in the bush. Trying to shield them off is the Eldegoss, and that is going to be enough to find the KO. Eldegoss was so close to getting KO'd. They used their own Unite move, and that is a huge pick for Italy to find.
It is, but that's a lot of resources he had to burn. The Glacial Stage and the Cotton Cloud crash as we now collapse on the Regieleki. The Rubble Rouser's going to come out. Now we're zoning. We're looking for the Miraidon. Exorcist comes in but misses it. Grabs the Mamoswine, but the Regieleki connects. It's now in the pad. 20 points in, and the Serena with the massive overcap.
Bro,
8 points.
If I was Italy, I'd be demanding VAR on the back of that. I don't understand why that Lecky went in. Miraidon was right there, bro. Some stun came through, and that was it. Lecky walked straight into that pad, and Italy are going to lose it. Greece right now, they've managed to cut down this score lead, but it's still ball in their court as Italy are in the lead. They're going to get more points coming in as Narami looks to score, recognizes Serena's here. They're still going to go for it.
I mean, hey, you're a little gremlin. You go invisible. You get the 31 in, and they're going to grab the KO on you, but that's okay. You did your job. You scored 31 points in, and now the Serena has to waste a little few more seconds while the knockoff effects wear off. Otherwise, those points are just going to sit there forever. But Hunter, Brutal's already going up to the top. They got their own ideas. They're like, hey, if Sable I can do it, I can too.
That they can. They've got an overheat ready as well in the bush. The ambush comes through as they find the hit onto Crustle. And now Grease have to go on a little bit of a retreat here. You don't have your defender for that front line. A 49 dunk is going to go on in the top side. That's going to break it as Brutal looks to try to escape. We see Venusaur getting ready with the beams, but Brutal will get out. And Italy has extended their lead even more now as we have 20 seconds before a Reggie takes this bottom lane.
Yeah, once the Reggie comes in now, we are also 30 seconds out from Groudon now, Tano. That means we have a 20-second interval, a 20-second window for our teams to take it. And already Italy is in position. Doesn't matter what it's going to be, which Reggie it will be. It's going to be huge for them. It's going to be a Reggie Rock.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a Mamoswine on your side, and you can take that away from the Crustle of Greece as well, so you're going to be very happy with that. 10 seconds out from Groudon taking to the field. We know they're saying hi. When there's a Groudon, the game is on, and Greece are looking to get back into this and take the win. Todoroki has worked so well for Greece in this game, but Italy are looking for the pick straight away. If they can get that passive off the Buzzwole, Brutal Hunter can find the connection.
They can indeed, and it's still going strong. Brutal Hunter is in the top there. They're right on top of that Glaceon. They just don't even know it there. Narami's looking for it there. They're looking to break it as well, and they're going to find it. They're just dipping and they're weaving. Venusaur, though, meanwhile, is throwing out the solar beams.
Oh, there's a Bright Fusion Meteor Storm as well. They managed to get out of Miraidon. They don't get enough out of it, though. They don't find a KO, and they're so weak right now. Miraidon is going to have to go back home. This is how Greece can take the win. It's currently going to be a 5v4 if they can find Brutal. They've got vision on where they are. Todoroki, I don't think, has had their passive broken just yet. Greece haven't been aggressive with it enough, though. Not having Miraidon, that should have been the movement that they go in looking for some picks.
1 minute left on the clock here. Greece has to make a move. Right now, Italy is doing a great job keeping it down, but there we go. Mamoswine's jumping in with the Mammoth Mash there. They're going in. Huge Unite moves. Cloud Crash. This is cleanly Ascendant's coming through. Mamoswine's still up, but it's now taken down. Blaziken is also gone too. This is the momentum that Greece was waiting for. Narami still has the Chaos Glower. They might be able to send someone home, but they're hitting on top of the Venusaur. They're looking to take it down. The Miraidon is now gone. Chaos Glower goes in, finds a connection onto the Venusaur. It's taken down as Elagos disappears. Now it's Brutal Hunter in the back now. They're coming through. 1 KO on the Glacier. They're not done yet, though, as the Groudon goes to Greece.
Oh, they find the KO onto Todoroki, and Brutal is too busy trying to find more KOs to lock in the Groudon. Greece are going to go score Hondo Burgers, but they've got 15 seconds left, and they still need more. Narami is going to go save this for Italy as they go score into the T2 pad. A 72 dunk is going to come on in, and again, another heartbreak loss for Greece as Italy look to take game 3 and win the set with a 2-1 record.
Oh my goodness, Greece had it in the bag. They took too long at the Groudon fight. Once they connected, though, oh my gosh. But Narami and Brutal Hunter, holy my goodness. The way these two were just able to swing fights, whether it's pressure with the point lead or pressure with just being able to throw hands.
That was devastating, but Greece did everything they needed to do. They finally found the win in the Groudon fight. They were going for the rip. They take the Groudon, but as we've seen in the previous sets, too little, too late. They didn't have enough time on the clock. They found the KOs too early on. They were back to defend, and Greece just couldn't find that last little bit of oomph that they needed to take the set, matey, and that is going to be heartbreaking for them because they played so well.
They did indeed, but Italy did a really good job too, wasting time, recognizing they didn't have an advantage in any of the fights. They for it. The Greece was just a little bit too passive, and Italy played into it. We got to get a little more aggressive there, but we saw everything on the table. We saw everything bared between these two teams. And look at this. Greece makes an excellent push here with the Red Jalecki. We come into this fight here. The Mammoth Mash comes in. This is exactly what we want to see. We see the tanks go forward, and Greece jumps on it. They find it, but I think they waste a little too many unites taking down a Crustal, which now leaves them open. And again, the Sableye, look at Narami. They find the Venusaur, and they're going straight for it, and they get the KO.
So the thing is, as well, as we look at the rest of this, Brutal, I feel, could have taken this. They find the KO with the Unite move onto Toadie, but then they're too busy trying to find the hits onto the Serena. I think they were trying to get onto the Groudon, but too hard to do so because it was so weak. And again, 20 seconds left now for Greece to score these points. It is heartbreaking, and if that Crustle had managed to get the Hundo Burger in, but they were so weak pushing that pad, we might be looking at a different outcome here, buddy, but it's going to be Italy that breaks through Greece and takes the set.
Absolutely, but that's not everything we have, because we have 2 more best of 3s for you all today. There's a lot more coming up, and I'm excited to see what our future teams are going to be running.
I mean, I am, because now I've got back-to-back UK games, buddy. So I don't know how I'm going to be unbiased in these ones. I am obviously from the UK. I know all of these players on the UK team very well. So it's going to be hard. But to be honest, I'm still a bit mad because my heart was broken last UEC. So, you know, we'll see if I've recovered from that as we get ready for these next games to come on in. Let's see whether UK can finally break through the heartbreak that they deliver, and is it finally gonna come home? We'll find out shortly, chat. Grab yourself a drink, grab yourself a snack. We'll be back with you very shortly. It is time. Team UK are going to be taking on Greece. Greece yet again just miss out on winning the set just due to not enough time on the clock to take it. Jonathan, this is going to be an exciting set as Greece look for revenge.
Yeah, exactly. Greece is now 0-2 on 2 sets today. They're looking to they're hungry for wins, Tano. And unfortunately to say, UK might be might be a morsel for them.
Oh, let's see as we get a nosy at these teams. Here is the United Kingdom. It's Toppy, it's Raichu, Dwayne, Bidepig, and Ripper. Everybody will know these players. I am very excited to see Bidepig. She's a brilliant support currently in the EU region, playing in other different teams so well. Let's go, UK, and see if it is going to truly come home.
Yeah, but on our other team here, we're going to see some more familiar faces. Greece, Kapiarni, Primayarni, Tone, which is our Todoroki, Navier Stokes, and Father Hoopa.
Already wanting more. They took that one to a game 3. They are looking to win this set. It can only go up. They have been playing so well today, but just out of their reach, buddy. This is going to be an electric set. UK has to win these if they really want to continue in the Unity European Cup. Greece is on their last chance here as they go up against UK.
Now, well, if they're on a last chance, no place like the last chance qualifiers to do it. Another chance to get into the main event here. As we've already Blissey taken out by Greg. So we don't like Blissey here in the UK already. Not off to a good start, Tano. I'm not sure I like the UK anymore. They're getting rid of Blissey. What's next? Sableye?
It's gotta be, bro. Gotta be. I mean, Hooper is going to be banned out by Greece. It's going to be the Serena here by the UK. Completely understandable. I suspect Darkrai, what else is going to be the target banned by Greece? Because they've got to get aware of what the UK is going to bring in. Raichu is on the team with a very good Raichu up their sleeve, buddy. That might be a target.
But Greece is probably looking at that Buzzwole ban, being all saying like, "Thank you, somebody." Getting rid of that Buzzwole. They do not want to see a repeat of the last game. Their final bando is going to be the Suicune, which means Ripper has the first pick. So what is UK going to lock in first?
What I love about this is that I genuinely no idea what their plan is going to be here looking at these players. It is going to be Dwayne picking up the Eldegoss first. That is ridiculously interesting. You have so many Pokemon that you can take as a number 1 pick hide. They go for their Eldegoss, which is perfect for the top lane paired with an all-rounder, but for a first pick is rather interesting.
Yeah, and I can already hear you now. Some of you people at home are screaming, "Why the first pick Eldegoss? Mega Lucario's right there!" Well, today, Mega Lucario, Mega Charizard are banned out globally, which means our teams can't pick it, which is why we're seeing the king of all-rounders already on that Blaziken coming through with Father Hoopa picking up the Snorlax.
All right, I love this. I love this. You've got your core built on the side of the United Kingdom. You've got Toppy on the Crustle. Raichu has access to that Alolan Raichu. That is a brilliant comp for UK so far. What a Greece plan in here. Skopiyami is going to bring out the Comfey. Looks like the Venusaur is going to be their plan with the beams. You've got to be conscious that Comfey hasn't got its main target to be sat around just yet on the side of Greece.
Yeah, that is what's going to be on Toto. Could be anything coming out there. Biter Pick going to be locking in the Zacian, and Ripper locking in the Zoroark for the UK. very powerful. I mean, they saw the Comfey and they're like, no, we're not giving them the Zoroark. We can't do it. They're just saying, you know what? We can take it. They can't shut it down. Venusaur, probably going to be a beam, probably not going to be the Petal Dance, which means Ripper's going to be able to rip it up.
Bro, somebody's been watching Chris Hero's videos because that is a tank Zoroark. They've just taken the big root off it to put the focus band on. They are double stacking with the attack weight and cookie. There we go, putting the bracer on. That is such an interesting build, but I like the response from the UK. You know that they've got that Comfey. They're going to be looking for the worst Pokemon to pair it with, which is Zoroark. Take it away. They do have access to the Leafeon, but Bida is here on the Zacian, which is so good in this early game. I like this comp from the UK. Let's see whether it's going to be strong enough to upset a very angry Greece.
Yeah, and even though it is a Raichu, and even though it is a prime target for the Leaf, Raichu does have tools in its kit to allow it to dash away, so Leafeon does not have an easy, obvious target within this game. It's going to try for the Raichu, and I hope it gets it, but, well, for its sake. But if it's not able to, then I think Raichu's going to be the decision maker on this one.
Yeah, and to be fair, Navier Stokes needs to stay out of the way of Ripper here. You are a Beam Venusaur. That is going to be the #1 target on the side of Zoroark. You could maybe argue going Giga Drain Beam as well here, to be honest. Hyde, you know you're going to have a lot of Pokemon in your face. The Giga Drain gives you so much more sustainability, even running the Beam, and they're not easy to hit with that Sludge Bomb anyway. You've got a Zoroark, you've got a Zacian, you've got a Raichu. Not easy Pokemon to get with a Sludge Bomb.
Yeah, you know, maybe you do just get rid of the Sludge Bomb, even though it is the special defense drop. You just go the Giga Drain, like you said. As long as you hit that, that is damage reduction applied to, damage reduction applied to that Venusaur there, which allows it to survive strong hits from the Zoroark. But speaking of strong hits, Snorlax's tackle is just dominating from the side of Greece.
Yeah, it's such a strong early game Pokemon. They do have the Bulbasaur in the bottom lane as well. UK are just looking for that Evo onto Raichu and Crustle, and they will have the better lane. But right now, Toadie bringing the damage to Dwayne and Leafeon. That's why you picked this Pokemon. So aggressive in these early stages. We're not even at 9 minutes, and they've managed to find a good KO. But that's going to be the revenge as Rippers comes in, sets it up for Bida to find the KO, and she takes the Torchic back to the Pokemon Center.
Ooh, that is not what you want to have done to you so far, but it's also the risk you run when you run Leafeon through it quickly. 850 birds are now up, though, as Venusaur is going to gobble up all the Swablues here. It's going to be a fight for this big one, and it's going to go to the side of UK, I think.
We are definitely going to find the Dwebble as well on the side of the Ivysaur. Still looking for that level 5 on the side of this Raichu, but that power spike is so massive that Greece are trying to hold them as much as they can, and they steal that away. Raichu is online with Raichu controlling them. We do have the Leafeon going down to this bottom lane, looking to get the pressure on the T1 pad. They score, but they haven't found any KOs yet. It's some great movement here from the UK as they get back off the pad.
The Electro Ball does come in and find connection onto the Leafeon there, but it doesn't do a whole lot of damage right away. We got to get those levels up for the massive damage to come through. And we got to get that Comfey off of that Titano, because those healings make it seem like we're not doing much. But a 2 KO streak for the Zoroark there. Ripper's coming through and just absolutely shreds the Drago down. The UK is now in a very powerful position as it's a 5-man push into the bottom lane.
I mean, Greece have scored 73 points unanswered at the moment. Rippers looks to dive on in, misses their combo at the moment. Zara's going to continue throwing these balls onto the side of Greece, but they make the wise decision to retreat from this at the moment. But there we go. Rippers combines with the Metal Claw coming in from Bida, and they find the KO, but Leafeon is here to stop the pressure. It's not going to be enough, though, as the UK finds more, and now they score points into the bottom T1. But Blaziken is alleviating that pressure in the other lane here, Hyde. A brilliant response from Greece.
It is. It's almost level 8, and that is not what you want. But also, more importantly, it's almost got its stacks. But the Emerald 2-stack comes out from the Leafeon, takes down not 1, but 2 members of the UK. Crustle and Eldegoss gone. That's your core. Raichu all alone with the Zoroark, but they're looking to find a position here. Now we're getting the rip down here on our basement. Regieleki here, but Venusaur and Leafeon fight, connect the KO for it. They capture it. Now they're getting vision as Blaziken collects Regirock.
That's going to be a good buff now for the UK as they look to find KOs. They're going to be able to defend this Ghatlue. So this is interesting. Greece have really come out of this strong, to be honest with you. They have lost 2 sets so far. You can tell they're playing quite angry here as they look to find a hit onto Rippers, but instead, Bider and Rippers prove to be way too much for the Fire Chicken, and they're sent back to Nurse Joy.
Yeah, while Greece was battling it out, UK was also doing their own thing off stream. We got to make sure that we're also staying warm and frosty, and the UK is primed, just like Greece is. Now we're going to be coming in, and there's the Zacian there, dodges onto the solar beam there, not able to connect, but Ripper's already on it. They're looking for the Leafy on there. The Flowery Fields Forever, though, comes out, and we connect, not on 1, but 2 KOs, looking for our third.
Sovereign Sword is going to be used here to defend Bider as she gets back away from this pad at the moment. Continuing to put the pressure on, though, is Greece as they look for a 40 dunk, but Toppy stopping them dead in their tracks. The walls from Top Gun proved to be too much as Greece are now retreating back to their pad, but they have given themselves a point lead here, and they are managing to get a slight level lead, although Zorak doing a great job at keeping on up. Zara sent back to the Pokemon Center off the back of a big beam, and Verdant Anger coming out from the Venusaur. They look for more, but Zara gets revenge, sending back the Blaziken before she gets KO'd.
40 Cat coming in for Greece. 190 now, breaks the T1 pad, but we do have the Midnight Days coming out for him. From that Zoroark there, he takes down the Venusaur, but Leafeon comes back in for the revenge KO.
190 points to 77. This is a brilliant game so far as both teams are just justing with each other to get that advantage. Blaziken left in the top lane yet again as Todoroki looks to see if they can find this 57. They're not able to stop it going on in here, and that's going to give an even more point lead to the side of Greece. They're going for the bottom objective though on the side of the UK. It's going to be the Ghatlue. It's going to be secured with some good zoning coming out from the rest of their team, but that is a steal to the side of Greece.
Yeah, and even though they're in the opposite lane there, that all of Greece is going to feel the power of Regis Steel. 2 Pokemon down now for the side of the UK. Raichu and Ripper there. They're going to go down as massive points come in from the Blaziken here. Bider Pig is going in. They're looking for the Crustle there with the Engage. They're looking for the Snorlax Comfey, but the Comfey does have the upgrade on its Floral Healing, which means increased movement speed for the Snorlax.
Oh, it's 264 to 97 right now for Greece. They're very comfortable with levels and points. They're managing to slightly get a level lead on the side of the UK continuing, but that is going to be a huge secure on the side of the Regidrago as they look to push this T1 pad now. Got to deal with this Blaziken. It has been a thorn in their side the entirety of this game. Verdant Anger is going to come through with a huge beam, absorbed by Top Gun. They're quite happy to be KO'd if the rest of their team gets out of this fight, and that is what they're able to do. Right now, it has flipped. The UK were winning the team fights in the early stages. Greece were winning the objectives. Now we're seeing Greece coming back in these team fights, and whenever Arnie is in them on that Blaziken, it's a harder job, and UK are usually struggling.
Yeah, but we do look at the levels here. Zoroark, the biggest Pokemon on the map here, soon to be followed by the Venusaur. We got level 13s, 12s, 11s. The levels are even, so despite the point difference there and the huge KO on Bider from the Leafeon, we do have our level around this, but after that, level
All right, 45 seconds before Groudon is on the field. It's not unreachable. There's T1 pads open as it looks like Snorlax is going to go for one here and break it. But 317 points to 97. It's all about the Groudon fight. Rippers is hit level 13. Zara has hit level 13. A lot of damage they're going to be able to bring, and they've got Nightfall Days for that team fight as well. A Registeel over to the side of Greece is not what the UK wants to see. That is perfect for Greece. Everything is in their pocket here. The advantage entirely on their side.
They're finally entering into the Groudon fight with a lead. The pressure is finally not on them to make a move. Greece is able to take a relaxed setting, but the UK's not even going to let that happen. Groudon is here, but the massive damage has to come through. Binder Pick finds the Darkrai, or the Blaziken there, takes it down. 1, 2, 3, 4 down for Greece. And even with the massive point advantage, they still can't find the pressure relief that they need.
That was a brilliant decision by the United Kingdom. They've got the Raichu, they've got Zorak, they've got Zacian. Rip is 100% in their back pocket. You've got Nightfall Days, which is so good when you throw that in the Groudon Den. Buddy, what a response by this team. They know realistically, Greece, what have they got? They've got some Leafeon. They've also got the Blaziken Overheat. But if you rip that as quick as you did then, it is difficult for Greece to bounce back. They've got a minute 10 on the clock as they look to push this bottom T2 goal.
Yeah, the timers are in their favor, but the Zoroark here is looking for an opportunity. They do have the buff on their hands, but they also have the Leafeon on their tails as well. They're also wasting time because the more the Zoroark is stalling for time here, the more the clock ticks down. 50 seconds left, 6:61 to 3:7. Greece needs a heavy push.
Oh, Zara's got her balls ready on the edge of this pit. It's not going to be easy to get in because you're going to have to absorb all of them. Triggered it on the side of the Snorlax. Power Nap's going to come through as well. Verdant Anger going on down, getting ready with the overheat here. If they can find a connect, Sovereign Sword is ready to rain on in. All they need to do is just stall them out a little bit with 20 seconds left. They're 300 points in the lead right now, and they find the KOs anyway, Hyde. UK has come to play on Faya Sky Ruins, and they're going to take game one. After struggling in the mid-game, they connect, get the secures, and wipe out Greece.
Yeah, just as quickly as they took Groudon, they just as quickly secured that fight. Oh my gosh, UK has said, you know what? Last year was a little bit of a disappointment, but we got our boy Tano rooting for us. We're on stream. We can't fail now.
I gotta say though, despite, I'm so happy that that worked out that way, but Greece were so good in that game again, Hyde. We've seen it for 2 sets already tonight. They were so good in the early game. They bounced right back in that mid game as well. They are playing so well, but the response from the UK to recognize, hey, look, we have Rip, we have Secure. All of our Unite moves are perfect for taking this Groudon, and to rip it within a couple of seconds flat, Greece had no way to respond to that.
No, absolutely. And like I said earlier, Greece got a little bit too comfortable. They're like, okay, we're in the position. We don't need to take the fight. We don't need to panic, a mistake. But all of a sudden, when they realized, wait a minute, someone panned the Groudon, they're ripping. And they just take it. But not just the Groudon, they take the KOs too. And oh my gosh, that was a beautiful sight to see the UK be able to do something. They came from the bottom of the barrel of this match and just shot right to the top. They completely flipped to the story and found their happily ever after.
It was so interesting because in these early games, it was Greece finding the objectives while the UK were having much better team fights. But once we get past this bit, realistically, it's as soon as Todoroki finds a lot of connections and gets that Emerald 2-step to give them the boost, it then ended up being Greece that was connecting, finding the team fights, winning them, and the objectives. So the UK kind of fizzled out a little bit. It's so crazy. This is a 10-minute game, but that's what happened. And they recognize this is the rip that we've got to go for. They forced Greece to come out with a power nap instantly. Verdant Anger a little bit too early as Groudon spawned in. You saw from the positioning of the UK there, Hyde, they were 100% committed to that rip.
Yeah, they saw it. They were there. They're like, listen, it's now or never. We got 2 games, so we can flip it now, and we can play a little bit more passive later on if need be. And my gosh, when you say fix it in post, they don't need to fix nothing because they did a beautiful job keeping the Greece away and on the pressure.
I do think Greece needed to recognize that they were going for that rip a lot earlier. They were in the pit nice and early, buddy. They have to recognize that that rip was coming on in, and I think that they reacted to it. The second Groudon was about to spawn in. They were like, they're not getting out the pit. They are going for this rip. We saw the Verdant Anger. We saw the Power Nap coming through just a little bit too early, and it just meant that it was an easy rip for the UK, and that is game 1. Now, Greece, when they lose the first game, they have a fantastic second game. They already did so well there, Hyde, but they are yet to realistically win a set. But we did go to a game 3. They are looking to do that again.
Yeah, and that is the beautiful thing about today's sets as well. It's not best of one, it's best of three. Our teams always have an opportunity to come back in for game two and then make it game three. So it's never a surefire thing. And Greece, as you mentioned before, Tana, we've seen them two previous sets today. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them for a fourth time. But as they're coming down, we saw them coming through into the three sets here today. Two sets before, they were able to just pull out game twos and almost etch out wins in the first set, and did manage to claw that win in the second set. Portugal, Italy, not easy opponents. UK, not easy as well, but Greece is here to match up with them.
Oh, I mean, this is every time I cast the Unity European Cup, the UK do this to me, bro. They give me the most exciting games. Last year, it was heartbreak on the back of a brilliant set. Let's hope that that's not going to be the case here today. Either way, Greece has put on an absolute show on today's broadcast, and the UK are really bringing it with them as well.
You hear that, guys? UK, you can't break Tano's heart. He's got one more set to cast after this with me. We can't have a broken-hearted man coming into this, so we got to go for it. We've got to take it. Go 2-0. Give this man some hope. But Greece is still not out of it yet. We're going to follow up with the Hoopa band, keeping into that second pick. Belissi, Serena, Leafeon going to round out the UK's bands.
Okay, interesting. Greece going with the Suicune, Zacian, and Hooper still. Let's see what the first pick is going to be. It could be the Elder Gods. Of course, you look at those support bands, Clefable comes to mind, but Elder Gods is definitely a much better supporter at the moment. So let's see whether that's going to continue to be the first pick. Yes, it is. Dwayne takes it away. So Greece, realistically, they're looking at the Clefable, they're looking at the Comfort here.
Absolutely there. So, I mean, again, for all of you at home, you're screaming at your screens, why not the Mega Luca again? We got two Megas banned, okay? Charizard, Mega Luca, those are banned out globally. Mega Charizard X, we don't want those in here. That's going to allow Dwayne to take that Eldegoss first pick that works so well. Game number one, might as well bring it back for game two. Father Hoopa's bringing back the Crustle, going to rock it. But Capiarna, they're going to bring in the Clefable.
Okay, so they're going to go for rather huge healing here rather than single healing. Looks like Zara's paying attention to the Miraidon rather than the Raichu. I like the Miraidon. It's been doing great in the set so far. Great range, and that Bright Future Meteor Storm is so good for team fights. Toppy's going to pick up the Umbreon, so they've got a little bit of disruption, a little bit of healing that they can use on that as well. But it looks like Buzzwole is going to be an entertaining answer here for Greece. And to be honest, looking at the comp that the UK currently have, that would be a decent pickup.
Yeah, it would be Prima-Yarne on that Buzzwole there. Navia Stokes going on to the Espeon there. Surprisingly, Darkrai not banned out, but has not been picked yet. Does the UK want this Pokemon? It's been at one of the top of the charts all day so far.
Now, looking at this, let's see what the UK round it out with, because if they go for some strong, like, front line here, I would like to see Todoroki on some of their Rip Pokemon. Is Ripper picking up a Decidueye for the UK? Oh my god. Okay, we are locked in. Bida, she's picked up the Darkrai here. That's going to provide a lot of sleep and a lot of disruption to the side of Greece. Todoroki, if you pick up Gengar, I'm going to scream. Bro, this would be the most exciting game
Send it.
I've
Send
seen
it.
yet, bro. Bro, is he going to do it? Oh, no!
Oh! No bravery. No bravery. Should have brought the Gengar, but Meowscarada is still a very powerful pick. Again, coming in, might be able to get on top of the Darkrai. Ignore the sleep as well once it gets into its Unite Meal, the Floral Flourish.
I mean, this is crazy, but a Meowscarada I have not seen competitively for a while. So this is going to be so interesting. I mean, come on, Gengar, that would have been a much better pick. But still, I like the Meowscarada. I think the Unite move is going to be great for Rip. You're really trying to target that Decidueye, that Miraidon here. And it is so good at the burst damage, at least. Not easy to find as well when you do have that passive pop. So it's going to be good at trying to get away from the Zara with that enhanced charge beam, from the Spirit Shackles. That might be the answer for Greece here, because we know it, buddy. They have to win this game if they want to stay in this cup.
Yeah, absolutely. And they got to come back, and they got to come back strong. Decidueye on Ripper. I mean, is that just a foreshadow? Are we just going to see Decidueye just rip everything? Maybe. Who knows? There's only one way to find out, and that's to watch this 10-minute game. with Ripper, and I think Toto is going to be a very good menace. Gold badges galore on our teams here, so they know these Pokemon very well, so you know there's going to be some exciting plays coming forward.
Bro, how on earth do we have a naked Buzzwole and a naked Espeon in this game? Come on, guys. How long have we been playing this game? You're telling me you've got no Hollow Air for those Pokemon? Completely disagree with it, bro. Everybody should be having at least some Hollow Air on these Pokemon, Jonathan. We live in a civilized society.
Listen, watch. They actually have the Hollow Air. They just chose not to. It was a choice for them. Can you believe that? That would be crazy. That would be crazy indeed. But speaking of crazy, we have Meowscarada into the jungle here, and we have the Gossifleur partnering up with the Decidueye, taking the red buff, going to the top with the Darkrai.
Nah, this is not going to be an easy lane down here. If they do manage to find Top Gun's evolution early enough, that's going to be a tough mountain for Grease to climb. But I think that's why we're going to see the Meowscarada come to the bottom lane as the Florigato. Espeon is online early enough as well. This is going to be a lot of pressure the UK are now going to come under.
Yeah, 45 seconds it took for that evolution, but meanwhile, Toppy's looking for that Umbreon still, but the Florigato's already moving in with the pressure. We got the Dwebble going in with most of its HP chunked gone. Rhydon's throwing down everything it can, and the Dwebble is the first to fall. Espeon's throwing hands with beams and Psyshocks from a distance, opting not to be stored power this game for us.
And the Florigato is going to come straight to the top side. Todoroki there is going to run into two on the side of the UK. How does Todoroki make it out of that one, buddy? 1 HP and a dream. They're going to find Arnie, or they were, before the superpower comes through. And they find the KO onto the side of Bida. She's sent back to Nurse Joy as Grease really come out of this early game feeling pretty rosy.
And just like that is a Meowscarada, level 6, biggest Pokemon on the map, went from a blunder into a hero as they collapse on the Dartrix there. That's the Flower Trick coming down, taking that KO.
Yeah, that's huge. You know you can just walk away from that. They are just walking to their death as they go back to the Pokemon Center. And Arnie is too big of a wall here to break through as they score more points. Look to take some farm, but Zara with a quick rotation into the top side is going to find the Buzzwole as UK tried to withstand the pressure that Grease is bringing them.
Yeah, but the UK is putting the pressure on their own. They're taking a dominating position in the top side. They're still looking for that Decidueye, and Espeon might be the first Pokemon on the map with its Unite move. Shoots a Psyshock at the Crustle. That's your teammate, Espeon. Come on.
That is a steal, though, as Crustle takes the Regidrago away from the UK with a perfect wall. Psybeam does a huge amount of damage over to the side of the UK as well, as they're looking ready to go back and get some healing. We are 20 seconds away from the first objectives coming into the lanes. All of this farm has just spawned in. Grease is grabbing a great deal of it, but they do find their evolution onto the side of the Eldegoss. United Kingdom finally getting some power spikes.
Yeah, the Decidueye is online as well. Very dangerous. Spirit Satchel's going to come in, pick up the Miraidon KO. No, the Crustle KO. As Miraidon goes down to the Crustle. Eldegoss going to take the Crustle, though, being like, my lane partner, I'll avenge you. But the Decidueye is getting got by the Meowscarada.
That is a perfect example of why I love Psybeam on Espeon. That you hit it on one Pokemon, it's going to bounce between them, does more damage, the lower health that they've got there, buddy, as well. So it's so good at finding some quick KOs when they're weak in a team fight already. And right now, Grease is doing what we've seen them do in the past 2 sets. They come out in game 2 being down 1 point, and they are ridiculously aggressive with it. They've scored 172 points to 0 at the moment.
Yeah, it's almost like they left the Darkrai pick up as a bait rather than an actual viable thing that they wanted to take there. Meowscarada is chasing down the Darkrai, takes it down. The Spirit Shackle finds the Meowscarada, 1 HP, and gets it out. Somebody arrest this Meowscarada. Todoroki keeps getting out on 1 HP in a dream. It is criminal.
I tell you, buddy, if I got a penny every time Todoroki was down to 1 HP, I would be a very rich man right now. That is ridiculous what they're being able to get away with, and it's just not the secure that the UK is looking for. They've got Spirit Shackle, they've got that enhanced charge beam, but it is the Masquerada. It gets that passive, goes invisible. It's so hard to catch anyway because it's got such good maneuverability that it's not an easy target to secure. As the UK goes for the rip up here, they are going to find the KO onto the side of onto the buzz wall. But now they're getting prepared to push this pad. Greece are already here looking to take it on the defense. Psybeam's going to find Umbreon.
Yeah, they're going straight in. This Decidueye is struggling to connect and deal much damage with these Spirit Shackles. They might have some Bracer stacks, but they have 0 scores in for their attack weights. They got to find an opportunity to get that Pokemon online and dealing more damage. Because the Clefable, they're just like, bro, give me a challenge to heal this off. Come on.
Yeah, I love the way that Greece are playing, though. It's so aggressive. They're playing Angie, and I like it. Right now, though, UK trying to get themselves back into this game. 192 uncontested points is not a position you want to be in. Donut Store is wide open here for the UK, and as much as I love donuts, I want to see it close. Worst Nightmare is going to come on out on the side of Greece. That's going to do enough to find the KO onto the Masquerada. Bright Future, Meteor Storm, as Zara tries to light up Greece, finds the KO onto the side of the Crustle, and UK win this team fight so far, but Buzzwole is slaughtering down to the bottom lane. They've got to get this dealt with before they get here, but they have to be wary of the Psybeam. Luckily, it is going to be taken by the Decidueye. Ripper does exactly as their name suggests, but Buzzwole is back in the middle of the fight. The whole slow slam is going to come on through, and that is a double KO as they look for more here, Hyde. That is a problem as Greece clean up the UK.
Yeah, that's 4 KOs on against the UK. They're 192-0 right now. Greece is here, and they're here to send a message. That message is, don't mess with us because we're going to take game number 2. But there's only one way to see if that'll happen, and that's at the Groudon fight in 90 seconds.
I mean, the benefit is, whilst the UK are yet to score any points, Greece haven't got too many in. It's 192. That is 2 points into those 2-1 as soon as they get the Groudon, buddy. They know they have to win that fight. That is 2 Hundo Burgers, and you are in the lead. 2 T1s still up for Greece, so it is possible for them to win this game. But the levels are really cooking on the side of Greece.
Yeah, they really are. Look at that Espeon, the biggest Pokemon on the map right now, level 13. And again, they're using the Buzzwole as well, but the Darkrai takes the Espeon down. Now this might threaten a position in the top lane here as Greece looks to take this top objective.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty tasty for them. Right now, just going to continue to defend these goals on the side of the UK, grab what experience they can that's currently up. It's going to be a Regieleki pushing onto their T2 pad. That can be defended, but Greece don't really have anything else to do but come down to this bottom lane and look to get this Reggie as well.
Yeah, that Decidueye is looking for levels, only level 12. 30 seconds to search for the 13 there, but we're finally connecting 13 on Buzzwole there. I like how Greece was able to pivot into Pokemon that instead of taking out problems, take them and use them against the teams. Like Espeon, huge problem against Portugal. Buzzwole, huge problem against Italy. So now they're taking their combined experiences and bringing it all in full force against the UK.
Yeah, it's exactly what you want to do as a team. You got to learn from your previous sets, use it to your advantage. Now the Groudon takes to the field. The UK are currently 192 points behind. They've managed to get some level 13s online, but you have to find this Masquerada. That Unite move is brilliant for these team fights, and that's what they're looking to do.
Yeah, the Meowscarada's already found the Darkrai. They're going in on top of it there with the clone. Now, Darkrai's not getting baited by it yet, but the Meowscarada clone is also on top of the Umbreon. That is good vision for the side of Greece. They don't need to hit the Groudon. They don't need to take this fight, but the Miraidon's coming out with the enhanced charge beam. As it comes out, Eldegoss is taking a lot of damage. They're going in with the clone here. As we're following, Clefable is doing great Moonlight heals, though.
They do find the Buzzwole. That's massive for the UK, but look where Todoroki is as they look to come round on the flank here, getting ready with that Unite move, and they use it to find the Darkrai. Right now, they're stuck, though, in the Moonlight Prime, so it's going to be Zara finding the KO, and it's all let loose. The Psychic Solaire is going to come on through, but they're prepared with the Psychic as well, but it's going to be the Bright Future Meteor Storm raining on down. Doesn't find the secure, and the United Kingdom is gone back for a regroup right now, buddy, as they currently only have their 2 Rippers, and that's not enough to win this fight.
No, but what is enough is 2 healthy hundo burgers into each of those T1 pads. If the United Kingdom is able to form up and make a heavy push onto one of these pads, they might be able to find success. 30 seconds away now from the end of this match, and possibly Greece taking the game number 2. As we go out, and then we're going for a nice fight. Crystal goes down to the Situate there. We're going taking the hands charge beam, going in the ground on 15 seconds left. We're going for the ground on flip as well, and got to get those scores in. But it's not going to be enough. 10 seconds go down. 3 members down for the UK, and this game is all but sealed for Greece.
What a way to respond. A brilliant answer by Greece. That game was in their hands from the get-go. They score 192 points unanswered and then win the Groudon fight. And that is the state of our game. Game 3 is coming up next.
Oh my gosh. I love game 3s, Tano. I love game 3s. As a caster, it just means I get to spend more time with you, more time with our teams and players, and more time with the people at home tuning in to these amazing sets. I mean, look at the healing on these supporters. 51k on Dwayne. That is not a feat to scoff at, because that is a lot. But the Clefable, over 120k on the heals.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. And, you know, you got to give it to Todoroki. I was begging for the Gengar, which very well could have done a lot there as well. But the maneuverability that Masquerada gave them and the passive was perfect. The double team, the flower trick, it was great for going up against the comp that the UK had. They tried their best to get back into it. They were winning fights, buddy, but they just couldn't score any points. And it was all coming down to that Groudon fight. If you score some throughout that, you've got less pressure on you to win that all-important fight. You can go for a cheeky back cap or something like that. Realistically, with 192 points unanswered, all you can do is win that fight and then go for the Hundo Burgers.
Yeah, exactly. But you got to group up as well. Sometimes you just got to let the Groudon go. Unfortunately, Groudon, or maybe fortunately for a lot of players, Groudon is not as busted as Zapdos was or as busted as Rayquaza was in terms of the benefits that it gave the team that took them. Groudon just enhances some attack power. It enhances the score speed, but it doesn't make them instant or unstoppable. So you can always just leave it around. And like in the highlight right here, this was the pivotal moment that turned against the UK. They found a great opportunity, but they weren't able to fully collapse. And even when they did find the opportunity to collapse, they still weren't able to capitalize on it, because look at the clock, 15 seconds, as Greece is just wasting their time.
I do feel like the UK struggled a little bit with their front line. I don't think they had enough. I don't think the Umbreon was enough front line for what they had there, buddy. I think that might be why those team fights didn't go their way, because you've got to look at it. You've got Psybeam coming in from the Espeon alongside that Side Shock. That's a lot of damage to the entirety of your team in that team fight. You've got Buzzwole diving on in, which is just gonna use one Pokemon to attack another Pokemon, so that's a lot of damage coming your way as well. And if they pick up your one defender, your one frontline member, you no longer have that front line. And then Todoroki's going to dive on in with the Masquerada. So I think that's probably the downfall that we saw in a little bit on the side of the UK.
Yeah, absolutely there. But game number 3, all things reset. Memory of a goldfish. What happened in the past? Don't worry about it. Just move forward like the good old Ted Lasso way. So the UK's coming in. They're going to be in the second pick. They're going to take out that Hoopa. And Greece is saying, no. Biter Pig on Zacian is never happening again.
Ha, rightly so. Let's see what the advance continue to be. Darkrai is going to be back on the banning block now by Greece. They did feel like it was an issue. This feels like it's just a Biter Pig ban run here, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if there's one player on the team that you think you can cripple and give yourself an advantage, send it. If we're going to full ban out, like, we're already getting that Serena gone as well. Very powerful all-rounder there. It's just going to come down to what Todoroki is going to be banning here and there, and it's going to be the Eldegoss.
I mean, Blissey is open. Greece are going to be able to take that now, and then you force the UK onto Clefable or Comfy realistically. That's a smart tactic by Greece. I mean, if they don't pick the Blissey here, I suspect the UK is going to go straight for it.
Yeah, exactly. You almost have to take the Blissey, or you have to make sure you take a response to the Blissey. And there it is. Capiarna on it, going to be taking that Blissey. Ripper and Ride to pick for the UK. Let's see if they're going to swap with someone or what they bring in. Because again, Snorlax, Psyduck, Alcremie, Crustle, these are all powerful Pokemon on the table.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what they go for here. Looks like the Alolan Raichu coming back onto the field. I think it's a great Pokemon. You definitely want to be looking at taking that. And then you've got the Suicune as well. That is a great first 2 pickups for the UK there.
Yeah, exactly. Suicune coming in, great utility Pokemon. I don't see an XP share on it on Dwayne there, so we might be running this full damage. Either way, you got to find a way to respond to the Raichu there. Umbreon might be the key here, but again, we have to answer range with range. Rhydon, Venusaur, these are powerful Pokemon as well that come in. Espeon even, as we've seen, and it's going to be Monos on that Venusaur.
That's so interesting. Like, you do need the range, but I'm surprised they've not taken an all-rounder there or something like that so early on. But, you know, they're not really going to pick another ranged attacker on the side of the UK, or at least not the Venusaur, so why not take it? But, oh my god. Bro, the UK's doing it. They locked it in.
They did indeed. The Zoroark Comfort combo. They see the Umbreon and they still brought it in. They're like, catch me if you can. I dare you. Mimikyu and Rapidash are going to come in as responses to this. But will they be enough? Is Rapidash going to be able to give up nice disruptive into the back lines here? Mimikyu also going to be great to get Zoroark with play rough there, but it is Grease's nightmare all over again. It's like, so Tommy made a break, or yeah, came back here. It's going to be Spider on the Urshifu.
This is ridiculous. Game 3, look at these comps, buddy. I like the pickup by the Mimikyu on the side of Grease. I think that's great for what you're seeing on the side of the UK. Of course, the issue is going to be the Suicune, but if you can use that to 1v1 on the side of Raichu, on the side of Zoroark, of course, with that Come Play With Me, you're going to be locking down 2 Pokemon. If you manage to find the one that is on the side of the Comfey, that is going to be a great response. Todoroki on the side of the Galarian. Rapidash is also a great pickup here, because it's used very much like a Greedent. It is constantly in, constantly out, very much a nuisance to the opposite team, which is going to work well at trying to find that Alolan Raichu. You've got to find Zara here and limit the balls that she's going to be throwing in.
Yeah, Urshifu is going to be a very powerful pick as well. You got to pair, you got to look at the Raichu. You'd be like, all right, can I get onto the Urshifu? Can I throw those Electro Balls down to dissuade it, or even chunk it down to make any sort of push it tries onto me? Just null and void, because Urshifu, as we have seen today, Wicked Blow has just been absolutely nasty.
It has, and I gotta say, I am so excited to see Vida play these all-rounders. I always see her playing on the support Pokemon in the other tournaments that I cast for, so it is actually a delight to see them playing these all-rounders, and so well. They are such a versatile player. It's great to see those kind of players on these teams and get to see them play those different roles, but you can't shout out enough flexible players in Pokemon Unite. They're the most important in this game.
Exactly. Yeah, no, you gotta have your flex players. You gotta know. I mean, you can be a master of one, or you can be a jack of all trades and a master of none, but you gotta be able to flex into various different Pokemon here. And again, we're gonna see a Chansey invade Greece. You spoil me.
Oh, you cheeky buggers, as they tried to put some pressure onto the Kubfu, but little did they know they were pairing it with Dwayne, and they're going to be able to chase the Chansey out of the central area and look to finally get that Kubfu online.
But because of the pressure, the red buff is on the Comfey, which means the Kubfu isn't going to have it, which means Comfey is going to have to hop off and fire its own basic attacks in order for them to make use of it. But there's a lot of pressure from the UK in the bottom lane. Raichu pocketing 21 points, securing almost all of the farm down there.
This is such an interesting approach from the UK. They send the Zoroark into the top lane, but they are going to get their level 5 anyway, or at least they're very close to it, as Bida is going to come in on the Water Bear, buddy. They're going to rain down fists as they find the KO onto Chansey, and now they are diving on in to look for more, but this is why Mimikyu was picked up onto the side of Greece. Not an easy target with that Shadow Claw, and they were looking for the KO.
They tried to find it, and they almost did there, but with the now gone, we move on to other tasks and targets, specifically this Suicune. Rapidash is doing a lot of good things in the bottom lane, keeping the pressure on. Zoroark tries to take down the Mimikyu, but it's still only just level 5. Now our teams have to shore up and figure out how they're going to tackle the Regidrago coming here in 5 seconds.
Oh, this is such a brilliant early game already, so close between them both. Power spikes have been found across the board as they do find the KO onto Suicune right now. Grease already showing how Todoroki is going to be so difficult for them to handle. The rip on the Regidrago is going to come through from the UK as Bida Pig looks to find the secure Todoroki, trying to get there quick enough. Doesn't, and it's Comfey that locks it in. But Grease are going to answer in kind, scoring points in the top side here, Hyde, and extending their point lead.
Yeah, 72-10. United Kingdom on the board, unlike the last game. They got to find a way to further extend and deeper into that. They try to find a lead. As the Urshifu connects onto on the Rapidash there, takes down the Umbra for the double KO. Now they're on the board. Not just on the board, Tano, but they take the lead.
Buddy, we've got a stored power Raichu coming out of Zara here as well. There's no balls coming out in this game. They're going to be using that as maneuverability. And do you know what? That is such a brilliant decision coming up against this Galarian Rapidash, against this Mimikyu, because you're going to be so hard to find. Comfey manages to get off the Urshifu as they get KO'd and gets onto Zara here, back to their pad. They've got heals, but they've got to watch out for Todoroki. Full speed ahead as they sprint through looking for some KOs.
Yeah, the Mimikyu is in the top, though, looking to grab some crucial experience. Maybe look for 9 here, but in the bottom here, stored power is active. Reggie Ice is on the board, and already the UK is looking to rip it. Between the Zoroark and the Raichu, they might get it, but the up-around Blissey combo is going to have some words to say about that.
Oh, 89-77 now as this game gets ever so close. Top Gun looks like they're going to fall, trying to use some potion to get themselves out of that position. Not going to work. They are found as the flowing fists are going to connect, and Mimikyu is sent back to Nurse Joy. We have a push in the bottom side here as they're looking for the KO. And oh my god, Dwayne finds it onto Manos with the Comfey, knowing they were going to go down anyway.
The little Comfey that could just say, I'm going to take one of yours with me. Come on, it's going to be Venusaur, you're mine. But the Thunderstorm Aerial's going to come out onto the pad there, dissuade any momentum Grease might have gained from being able to push that pad, allowing them time for the Comfey to make it to the bottom there as they now exert a lot more pressure against Grease.
This is exciting. They do have that that top Reggie, and Grease have the position with the Mimikyu. United Kingdom putting more importance on this bottom lane. They know Grease are looking like they want to push it, and in fact, Mimikyu is rotating down to the bottom side. We are about to have it all let loose down on this bottom lane, buddy. Both teams are wanting to just brawl it out to see who can score more points.
Well, they wanted to, but Grease just heard what you said, and they're like, listen, they're what? No, we got to back off. They're going into the top. That's the red Venusaur and the Blissey had second thoughts. It might be too little too late as the United Kingdom, where like they heard the call. They're here to stay. They're here to slay. As they go in to take some of these points and look for the KOs. That's the Blissey taking the Zoroark, though. Blissey's going to be working with the Bliss assist onto the Venusaur as Urshifu looks to grab the KO. Huge Solar Beam coming up, but it's not like it's going to be much. But the Triad Blitz will be as the Urshifu falls.
Wow, what a defense by Grease. Stalwart on the front of that goal as they find the KOs, and such a wise decision by Primiani to come down to the bottom lane, leave that Lecky up there, come get the KOs. They find a triple, they score the points, they extend their lead. The United Kingdom threw a lot at that to try and take that goal, buddy. They did not find it with a brilliant response from Blissey and Venusaur.
Yeah, but with 4 minutes left in the game, their Tier 1 pads are gone. Lots of wild Pokemon now that spawn on their side of the map, including these birds, which now give them advantage. They also lose that pressure that the Grease is able to exert during the double points. So they now need to find a way to close the point gap while also maintaining pressure. But speaking of pressure, down to the bottom lane, Blissey scores a 40 cap, while the UK decides we need Regilecki.
Yeah, so this is going to put some pressure onto the side of Greece in the top lane at least, but look at how hard it is to take down this Mimikyu, bro. A Verdant Anger is going to come on out. A shotgun face beam onto the side of Pig as they're found. And you know what it's like with a Comfey hide. You buy one, you get one free as they find the KOs and the UK are left reeling again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I felt that. I felt that all the way over here in Canada, Tano. That hurt a lot. Oh my gosh. Even though the Regieleki did connect to the T1 pad, no one from the UK is close enough to be able to capitalize on it. So now it is now the powers and the buffs from Regieleki are gone. The UK has to find another way to get points on the board, even though they did find a little bit. 50 seconds remain until Groudon spawns in.
It's all about this experience, and right now Venusaur has hit level 13, which means they are very strong, because I believe they're running the Giga Drain, so it's going to be so hard to take them down with a Focus Band as well. I think they are using, in fact, no they're not. I've just looked at the held items, so it is just going to be the Giga Drain, but they've got a Pocket Blissey that has been sticking with them the entirety of this game, Hyde. So anything the United Kingdom is throwing, they've got to use almost all their resources to take down that one Pokemon.
They don't just have a Pocket Blissey, though, Tunnel. They have a Pocket Blissey that's ready to throw hands, take some KOs, score points, do whatever it takes. They're ready to get down and dirty to help that Venusaur stay up. They'll play, they'll cheat, they'll do whatever it takes. And with 5 seconds till Groudon in, UK might need to adopt that kind of a strategy.
Let's see where this goes. Groudon has taken to the field. The game is officially on. Let's see if the UK can get themselves back on into this. Beams are going to connect from the side of Greece. They have the poke damage because, of course, the Alolan Raichu is currently running the stored power, but now they're going to show face onto the side of the Groudon. We saw Zorak trying to see if they could find the flank. Verdant Anger is going to be blitzed on out here. Pair that with the beam, and they found the KOs. Thunderstorm Aerial is going to go down, but Mimikyu says, play with me, Suicune, and finds the KOs. It's a 4 KO streak for Venusaur as they wipe out the United Kingdom, and Greece are going for the Groudon. Greece are looking to take this game and finally win the set.
Oh my gosh, 1 minute 20 now as the rest of the UK spawns in. The 111 to 283. This point difference is not impossible. It all comes down to how the defense goes for the UK. But already, that's the buy one get one free combo there for the UK. Take it down on the Comfey Suicune. The defense is looking grim as more points rain in for the side of Greece.
Oh, bro, with just 50 seconds left and all those KOs, there's not enough change on the field for the United Kingdom to win back on this one. Greece are finally going to win a set after holding strong, buddy. They've had 2 games tonight that they were inches away from winning to take the set, but this is going to be it. The United Kingdom fall to the Kingdom of Greece.
Yeah, Greece is finally breathing a sigh of relief. Guys, we did it. It came through. It happened. They got to be cheering. They got to be celebrating. And oh my gosh, was it well earned. Both teams fought like heck during this game. And I'll tell you right now, even I didn't know who was going to win that Groudon fight.
Oh, buddy, I've lost all of my berries on Ghatlue's channel because, of course, I threw it all on the United Kingdom. I'm a believer. It's always coming home. But Greece, you well and truly deserve that victory. You have fought hard for 3 sets now, and it was always coming down to the wire. After that first game, boy, were they aggressive.
Yeah, it was a 2-0-2 loss to Portugal. Then a 2-1 loss to Italy, but now they're able to claw it back into a 2-1 victory against the United Kingdom. Greece performing very admirably, finally connects to that win. And oh my gosh, look at Manos, 127 with Father, 51k heals.
46.1% of your team's damage is a crazy set from Manos there. I mean, they are the main area of damage for Greece, but I gotta say, I think Todoroki was brilliant on the side of that Galarian Rapidash, buddy. They were a nuisance on the side of the United Kingdom. Every time they tried to get and catch their breath, Todoroki was there. They will be seeing that Galarian Rapidash in their nightmares, bro.
Oh, they absolutely will. You think it'd be Darkrai there? No, 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 no. It's gonna be the Fairy Rapidash. The Dark type has nothing on your nightmares tonight. Oh my gosh. And again, this was criminal. Look at this. Coleman gets the Venusaur. It wasn't a buy one, get one free. It was a buy one, trade in. Oh my gosh.
I love it. You know you're going to get KO'd. And this response here, this is what I'm talking about. Look at the Blissey, the pocket Blissey onto the side of the Venusaur. They threw everything they could at this, buddy. We saw the Raging Fist coming out from Bida. Fanciful Fields was used as well. Friendly Fields Forever, sorry. They used as many as they could, and they still couldn't find the KO. Verdant Anger in the face here, and then it just beam straight to your face as well. The combo of that Blissey Venusaur was so good for Greece.
Yeah, and even though we had the Raichu here on the side of the UK, throwing out so many, like, just look at this. The beam comes in, the Play With Me slowing it down. We're slowly ticking away as the Suicune comes in, and all of a sudden, Raichu's caught out on the back foot, gets got by the beam, dashes, ejects right into it. Man, that Monos knew exactly where to aim those beams.
Oh, heartbreak continues here, buddy, as Greece take the set versus the UK, but they're not out of it yet. I believe they have another game coming on up, so we need to get ourselves ready for that. We are going to take another quick break while we get that prepared. Grab yourself a drink, grab yourself a snack. We'll be back with you very shortly. I am begging, bro. I am begging the UK to get this win here. They have done me in again. I was betrayed by my own team, but now they have to take on Italy, who are already a strong team that we've seen today.
But it's at least feasible. They took a game off of Greece. Greece took a game off Italy. There's a world where the UK 2-0's Italy. There's a world where UK 2-1's Italy. So, I mean, I'm more in favor of a 2-1 scenario because that means we get a full 3 games of the set. But honestly, the UK is still in this just as much as Italy.
It very much is, and I cannot wait to see how they adjust their comps coming up against this team, because you know Italy, they love their strong all-rounders. That's what Bida has been playing tonight already. How are they going to shake things up? Because Brutal Hunter has to be limited.
Yeah, absolutely. And as in case you guys forgot, we got the team roster right up here. So let's take a look at the UK to introduce them, Tano.
Yeah, let's get them up and have a nosy at them again. I love this team. They are exciting to watch. Just waiting to see if we can get that up at the moment. But nevertheless, right now, though, they are coming off a loss. So you know you have to win this set, Jonathan. If you don't, you are going to be leaving this cup. You've got to be winning this to give yourself any chance that you possibly can. In fact, we're just going to get straight on into the game here, buddy.
I mean, might as well. If the teams are ready, the teams are eager to go. And already, Toppy's a Sableye fan? Bro! Come on! It's almost like you watched Narami play 2 games and dominate with it.
Bro, game recognized game, and I've just seen that actually they've got Klaus in for Italy here rather than Brutal Hunter. Oh my god, that is crazy, because now they're going to have access to so many different Pokemon, and Klaus is one of the best players in the EU region.
Yeah, Klaus is a dangerous name. Even those in NA fear. I'll tell you that right now. So when you see them on the other team, that is not something you are excited about. Especially if you're the UK and you're looking for your first set win today. Umbreon Hoopa gonna round out the UK's bands along with the Suicune Zacian for Italy.
Oh, this is interesting. So now, I mean, you do open up the fact that they might not go for the Buzzwole here. Klaus, though, by the way, has a nasty Zorak. So, you know, you've got to be wary of that. What's Ripper going to pick up for the first pick on the side of the United Kingdom? Going to go for a support, I suspect. No.
Gengar? Gengar first pick with Darkrai on the table? What's going on here, UK? What you doing to us?
Is this... we might be, I don't know. I am so surprised at a Gengar first pick that I think something's gone wrong. I don't know, but if this stands, that is exciting. And that is, I mean, just to say it, that is ballsy. That is ballsy to pick up a Gengar as a first pick.
Yeah, because like I said, Darkray's still on the table there. Nobody's taking it. 5 seconds to go. We're going to lock in the Miraidon, lock in the Snorlax. Now we're going into picks that make sense into the slots that they are in. So I think this is legitimate. I think Ripper was like, Gengar or nothing, folks.
You know what? I love you, Ripper. Give me the Gengar, finally. And they go for it on first pick. Is just so interesting. We do have Miraidon coming out. Top Gun's going to pick up the Snorlax, so they have got some very strong picks here. Narami on the Eldegoss. Buzzwole is on the field, so Italy have one of the strongest top lanes in the game so far. Bida looks like she's going to pick up the Lucario here, and Dwayne looking to pick up the Psyduck. So no healing. In fact, there we go. Alchemy, no, back to the Psyduck. Buddy. No healing on the side of the UK.
Dwayne likes to bait. I guess he's not alone. But we do have Kree onto that Crustle, and we have Puggy onto that Mew. These are going to be dangerous Pokemon to go into. And even though you're like, Mew, that's not a lot of damage. Trust me when I say Mew is a lot of damage. Great backline support, great secure, not just on objectives, but wild Pokemon as well. And you pair that with Klaus on a Blaziken? Whoa, I do not want to be the UK right now.
This gets me so excited though, seeing Ripper on that Gengar first pick here. The UK has actually come out with a very good comp. despite the fact that they picked that first and Italy had every opportunity to counter it. Not that I don't think they're that concerned about it. They've got the best top lane in the game currently. They do have the Mew, which despite what some people might think, brilliant amount of damage, probably the most utility on a Pokemon. You've got coaching, you've got walls, you've got range, you've got Electro Ball, and you've got dashes. It has everything. It can do everything. So right now, this is the state of our game here, Hyde, and this is going to be an electric one with these comps.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and again, I still can't get over that first pick on Gengar. Ripper was just like, it's gotta happen. It's gotta happen. Darkrai? Dark who? Darkrai is gone. It's out of here. Leafeon? Leafy who? We're getting that out of here. We don't want any of that. It's Gengar in the first slot. Not just any Gengar, stacking specs Gengar. Special attack specs. We're going in for full damage.
Bro, I mean, I literally have the Gengar tattoo on my hand. I am electric right now. I love seeing this Pokemon on the field. You don't see much of it because there's so many speedsters that are better in the meta right now. So let's see. It is going to be the central area for the United Kingdom. Italy are sending in the Blaziken to their central area. Not going to be an easy top lane for them to deal with, but it is going to be a Lucario paired with what looks like the Psyduck.
Yeah, the Lucario with the Psyduck there is going to be very dangerous, especially in the Buzzwole alone. Already the Mew is showcasing what it can do, but the timing, you just got to get that right because it's Snorlax that walks away with the bunnies.
Ooh, it's all about this early game. I mean, not an easy lane to take on with that Miraidon Snorlax. They're so good at dropping damage. Dwayne gets so weak here, though. Looks to find a KO onto Simo, but the healing's going to come through from Narami. Dwayne is trying whatever they can just to pull the attention here, as we do see Haunter come on into the lane. A good power spike they have, but Italy comes out on top with the KOs.
And that Beast Boost in effect there, allowing the Buzzwole to be able to get away after the KO. That speed boost was really crucial. Otherwise, Haunter was going to be haunting their dreams and taking them down. Already, the 850 birds are up, but the UK is not in a position for the bottom side here. So Italy's going to claim them all.
I do think Dream Eater is such an interesting pick here. You're going to look for those executes so that you can get the resets, but I think Hex might have been a better choice, knowing that you do have that defenders, plenty of all-rounders as well. Either way, though, we're going to see Ripper's cook here, but Bida has been caught out. It's a Leech Life Buzzwole on the side of Italy here, Hyde.
Oh, yeah. Leech Life is going to be powerful, able to lock it in. The only way to escape it currently that we know of, eject button. Got to pop that there whenever you can, but if you don't have an eject button, you're there for the full duration of the move.
And it's such a long cooldown on an eject button as well, so it's really only one get out of jail free card for one team fight, and that cooldown on the Leech Life is not as long as you might think it is, as the Regidrago is going to rotate down to the bottom lane here. Dwayne is trying to put up a bit of attention onto the side of Italy, keep them in this top lane, but they have swarmed onto that Regidrago as they look for the secure. Miraidon's trying to find it as well with the enhanced charge beam. Not enough rip onto it yet.
Yeah, Haunter's still searching for its level 7, finally ticks into it. The Blaziken's been there for an awful little bit now. So now the Regidrago is now being contested. Buzzwole's trying to get whatever it can. Going into the top here, grabbing a little bit of farm and denying it to the side of the unit UK. But look at that. 1-2 KOs into the central path. The Regidrago goes to Italy, and now they're going to be pressing their advantage even more against the UK.
I do like the UK continuing to try and score. You've got to keep yourself within the limit of these scored points. There's the Leech Life. They're going to get themselves out of it on the side of Bida. The E-Speed is cooking right now, but they run into the arms of Buzzwole yet again. And it's going to be the KO from the Blaziken. Right now, Rippers is up against the world here with the Dream Eater. Wisely decides not to go in. It lands on the side of the Crystal. Looks to see if they can find it, but it's not going to be enough to take them down. And that's why I was worried about the Dream Eater pick. And they get cornered and KO'd back to Nurse Joy as Italy continue to pummel the top lane.
No Unite moves on the side of the United Kingdom. Meanwhile, Blaziken, barely 4 minutes into the game, already double digits, level 10. Massive experience lead for the side of Italy. But if we're able to get the KO on it, it could be the experience swing that the UK needs. They got to try to look for a pivot. And a pick right here on the Buzzwole could be it.
And they still don't find the KO. Oh, that was the opportunity. But the Ultra Swole Slam comes through. And they get themselves away. And now they're going to get the rip onto the Regieleki here. As they continue to find the punishment onto the side of the United Kingdom. Dream Eater is going to land. But the Leech Life is going to find that HP. Here comes the Unite move from Gengar. Doesn't find anything with it. As Crustle takes the Regieleki. And Italy continue to win every team fight.
128 to 72. Not as big a lead as Italy would hope for, but definitely a smaller lead than the bigger than the United Kingdom is comfortable with. The walls are coming in from the Crustle. Here's Regieleki's closing in. Expert blocks. Here's the Rubble Rouser comes out. Snorlax jumps in there. Level 8 does not have the power nap yet. Gets taken down by the Crustle. They win the tank v tank battle there. The Mew is now working with the Crustle to keep the pressure with the Regieleki as the Blaziken resets on the pad, gets some HP, and now they're going in, but the Gengar coming back home with the UK.
Let's go. Rippers finds a double KO. By the way, I think Crustle X-scissored the Lecky into the pad there, which is such a brilliant play by Kree again, if that's the case. We saw it off screen, but I think that's what happened. So they don't score any additional points, but the 20 go in at least, or at least some points go in from the Lecky. 140 to 72 right now for Italy, and they have levels. Oh boy, do they. Blaziken has hit level 12. United Kingdom are trying to keep up, not doing a bad job on it. Rippers is here at level 11. Bide has managed to hit level 10, and so has Zara. So they're managing to keep up just about here, Hyde.
Yeah, it is a very, very small gap that they're behind on. The Pokemon that they're on, that they need to beat at those levels are only one behind. But Lucario's already diving in and finds vision on the Buzzwole. Now we are going for the nice engage here as we take down the Psyduck. Not a situation you wanted to be in. Any potential momentum that the UK is in now that they have lost it, as the Reggie Ice now plays for the side of Italy.
All right, 140 to 72. We do have Blaziken in the top lane trying to see if they can sneak some 4 points in. Bida is there. She has vision at least, although I don't think they know Blaziken is actually in the bush, but Psyduck is ready to go in. Regieleki about to spawn in the bottom side here. Dream Eater lands on Kree again. So that's the wrong target for you on the side of a Gengar. The Rip is going to come on through, trying to find the Buzzwole. The Ultra Swole Slam's going to land onto the side of Snorlax. Power Nap is there, though. Bright Future, Meteor Storm, and they do use the Unite move from Gengar to lock in the Regieleki. United Kingdom wins the team fight, takes the objective, but Italy are wise to get out before more KOs ensue.
Oh my gosh, Tano, this game is just getting fired up. This is only game 1 right now, and both teams are fighting it out like it's a game 3 scenario. 140 to 72. Regieleki barreling down on Italy's tier 1 pad. Blaziken getting to level 13, but Gengar has caught up. Level 13 now.
Yeah, charging up that Phantom Ambush here as well. If that is such a good Unite move for team fights and getting the secure, if you can hunt down the squishies, which realistically is going to be the Mew here for you if you're on the side of Gengar. Ripper's responsibility at this team fight is that Mew, and you need Phantom Ambush to do it.
Yeah, exactly there, but the Phantom Ambush is not in their pocket right now. That is gone on the Unite move there, but with 23 seconds left for the topside Reggie, 33 seconds left for Groudon before it makes an appearance there. The timer's on the board. Our teams now need to look for a way to find pressure to apply to the other team. This top Reggie Roulette might be the way to go, with both Buzzwole and Blaziken able to rip it within the time allotted.
Oh, this could be devastating if that's a Reggie steal as they go for the rip onto it now. We're just going to prepare. It's going to be a Reggie Rocks. That is going to be very good for the Crustle, which has already been so annoying for the UK in this game, buddy. They've got some brilliant secures using their moves. So this is not what the UK want to see. They're looking to see if they can find a pick, though, onto the side of Buzzwole in the top lane. If they can, there goes the Ultra Swole Slam. The Phantom Ambush is going to be quick enough for Rippers to dodge the damage. They found Snorlax, though. Power Nap is going to disrupt them here as Bright Future Meteor Storm rains on down, doesn't find Clouds. The beams are going to come back from the side of Mew, and whilst Gengar has to go back and heal, Buzzwole is being zoned out at the moment by Psyduck.
Crustle is now looking for a position to get onto this Miraidon here, allowing to allowing to get it gone. It finds it. Ejects X Scissors, Rubble Rousers in. Thunder's raining down, and Psyduck takes a huge beam to the face. It gets taken down. The UK's now in a bad position. Snorlax No goes through, and it falls as well as Lucario. Then Miraidon. Now it's just the Gengar. But if there's any Pokemon on the UK's team that could have done it with the Gengar, but the Mew said no!
Oh, the wipe comes through. Italy is going to take the objective. They've got 1 minute on the board. They currently have the lead, but the UK is coming back. This T1 is not going to be defensible, so that Hundo Burger is going to rain on through. Everything has to be thrown at this fight. They need to take ground on buffs if they want to win this, and they need to do it quick, but they're absolutely blitzed through. The Blaziken is going to find the KOs. That's 2 sent back to Nurse Joy. They find a third on the back of Buzzwole, and right now Italy are locking in game 1.
Absolutely rocked game 1 at the Groudon fight. They went from just barely ahead to 668 points ahead. Oh my gosh, look at that. Like, huge. I mean, the math was probably wrong, but over 600 points ahead. That's impressive.
Yeah, that is impressive. What a way to take that fight. It did feel like UK had a little bit of hope, but the second they found the combo, the Bright Future Meteor Storm didn't find the KOs that it was looking for. A brilliant retreat from Klaus kept them out of that range, and it just meant that Italy had all that they needed to find the picks. That's a tough one. United Kingdom are going to fall 1-0 so far. We're getting ready for game 2.
Yeah, and game 2 is here, and it's ready to go. I am so excited to see what's coming through, what Italy's going to bring to the table, what the UK can bring to the table there. Again, we did not have a whole lot of action coming in from Darkrai at all. I think it missed the ban, but we just said, hey, no, we're not going to bring it in. Again, Ripper bringing in Gengar on that first pick was absolutely brave.
I love it. It's such a bizarre thing to do, and I absolutely love it. Unfortunately, Italy were not concerned. They were happy with what they had built, and they were winning most of these team fights. This was a good effort. You use the power nap. That Ultra Soul Slam's going to land onto you, so Toppy's not concerned about that. And then you use the Phantom Ambush to find the hit on Regieleki. But I think that's one of the few objectives they were able to find, Hyde, and that is a part of the issue on the side of United Kingdom. They just couldn't do enough.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe going into game number 2 here, we'll be able to pivot our bans there. It was the Umbreon, Hoopa, Sableye for the side of the UK. Now, we do know how devastating Italy can be, and maybe it wasn't, those are the correct bans, because as it wasn't just those bands or those Pokemon that beat us out. It was so close. It literally came down to just positioning. And look at how advantageous Italy takes of the AoE. They look at this Miraidon and just say, you know what? We don't really care about that because we got Bulk. We got the Mystical Mirage. We can just dodge a whole lot of stuff. And now it's all of a sudden Gengar in the world.
I gotta say, I think this Buzzwole is becoming a big issue for a lot of teams here in the UEC. We've seen it already be a big issue for Greece as Italy brought it to them. Again, that was an issue for the UK, and even Greece using it against the UK, they found it very difficult to handle. I think if you're looking at bans, I understand banning out what they have because, of course, the supports are so strong. Umbreon is both a defender and support, so it's strong. But I think you've got to entertain that Buzzwole ban if you're not going to pick it up yourself, because you haven't got an answer for that lane right now, Jonathan. They leave that Buzzwole up in that top side to stack up and get nice and fed, and then they have a struggle dealing with that for the rest of the game.
Yeah, even if you don't ban it, take it. Because, I mean, we looked at what made Greece successful against the UK. It was utilizing the Pokemon that were powerful against it. Buzzwole from Italy, Espeon from Portugal. They were able to come in and utilize the Pokemon that were able to oppress them and then oppress the UK doing that. So coming into game number 2 here, the UK should be looking at, all right, what were the problem Pokemon for us? How can we utilize this? Are we banning Sableye because it's actually a problem? Are we banning Umbreon because it's actually a problem? Or just because, you know, we got to look at and evaluate what's coming into game number 2. And I think the UK has a strong showing if they're able to utilize some of these oppressive Pokemon against Italy.
Oh, I can't wait, buddy, because if UK don't win this game, this is going to be the final game of today, and Italy will progress forward. UK have lost both their sets, and they will be saying goodbye. So UK has to win this one if we want more Pokemon Unite on this broadcast, and we want to see the UK try to bring it home.
Yeah, come on, UK. We already got shortchanged on game number 1. That was a 2-0. We need our 3 games. We got 3 games already for 2 sets. Make the win. Give us our game 3. Come on. Sableye, Hoopa already coming through the fans. Psyduck. Nice pivot from Italy, denying the UK that option, as well as the Suicune.
Yeah, I still think Psyduck is such a great Pokemon. The Suicune is interesting because now you open that, well, realistically, you would have opened it up to allow the UK to ban more Pokemon. Like, if you're the first pick, make the other team ban Suicune, because then you can just take it. But that's an interesting pivot by Italy. Let's see what they're going to pick up as their first pick here. You expect it to be a supporter, but an all-rounder? Okay, Zacian.
I mean, listen, we've seen this before. If your name is Brutal Hunter, you're going to lock in an all-rounder. And surprisingly, that's not the Buzzwole, it is the Zacian. So I am not surprised the all-rounder was picked. I'm surprised which all-rounder was picked.
Oh, bro, Dwayne's gone for the Comfey here. Are you giving away a little bit of what your plan's going to be? I mean, you do have Ripper, so you can go for multiple different speedsters, but that's the kind of plan, though, isn't it? That it looks like you're going to go for a speedster paired with that Comfey. We'll wait and see, because right now Italy are going to build up a front line here, knowing what could be coming their way. Norami is going to pick up the Umbreon Kree again here on the Mamoswine, so they have responded instantly to that Comfey being on the United Kingdom.
Yeah, but this is where you bait them out. You bring in that Empoleon, bring in that Palmon, bring in something, maybe even Zeraora, and go Sweet Kiss. That's where you pivot your strategy. You're like, ha ha ha, you think you're going to be Floral Healing? Well, it's Sweet Kiss, and now you've fallen for my trap.
Oh, it's going to be the Dodrio. Zara's going to pull out the Miraidon once again. Klaus has brought out the Buzzwole. This is not easy for the United Kingdom. So many picks that they have struggled with so far is on the side of Italy, and Mimikyu is going to range it out knowing that you have speedsters to handle.
Gardevoir. Go Gardevoir right here. Come on. Gardevoir, Delphox, they're all melee. They got no range. Take advantage of this. Delphox on Ripper. Heck yeah. Send it.
That is a brilliant, that's an inspired pick, is that, bro? I am a little bit concerned about the fact that they do not have frontline here. You have Toppy on Crustle, that is it. Look at how squishy they are otherwise. But Ripper is on the Delphox. They are going to go Flame Charge. They are going to be incredibly hard to catch. That is going to be very quick in the late game. It has no cooldown, bro. And they have Fanciful Fireworks, which is going to be great for these team fights because you know exactly what Italy want to do. They have to brawl. They have no range. But UK, they're going to have to back up every time that fight's happening. But if they end up in a melee range fight here, UK are not winning that.
No, they're not. But there is a really good scenario here where Crustle could get in with the walls and the rock tube, go in for that nice Rubble Rouser, and then bait them in. So we got the reflect damage coming out there. We have a wall that traps them in that allows the Miraidon or the Delphox to come in with their Unite moves with that huge AoE stun. It's really going to be rough with UK, but they have the tools to make it into a very good position for them to be able to just completely poke out the entirety of the side of Italy.
I do worry about the late game here because, well, the early game, realistically, you do have, of course, a lot on the side of your team, but Rippers is on the Delphox. That's not a good early game. I suspect it might even take the central area because of that, Jonathan. But on the side of Italy, you have early game coming out of your ears. You've got Zacian, you've got Buzzwole, you've got Umbreon, you've got Mimikyu. 4 of your Pokemon there are directly countering the early game that's already coming your way on the side of UK.
Yeah, and you know what? We saw something very similar in a strategy here in the NA, and what that team did to adjust was, funnily enough, they 5-manned into a top lane to set one of these behind. They let one of the other lanes go. They allowed the farm to go to them, but they 5-manned it, and they were able to keep the pressure because they opened up pathing into the central area as well, and they were able to keep the pressure going. The United Kingdom might be able to do something similar. You got to go where the numbers are. 4-man the top, put the pressure on, deny the Pokemon here the stacks that they need, and I think you're going to be going really strong into this.
I already like how aggressive the United Kingdom is playing this, as Spider looks to see if they can get something in here. They do steal some points. Not going to go for the stacks just yet because they have pressure coming in from Brutal as the sword is going to cut through them. And it does... No, in fact, that was taken by the United Kingdom, I believe. So it is pretty much 50-50 down here, Hyde.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be keeping going here as we go in a 3-man push for the 2 KO streak for the Mimikyu. Point training in for Italy as crucial stacks are coming in.
Ooh, okay. So 28 points to 4 right now. This is interesting. A good early game already coming out of Italy, but United Kingdom are holding on. Power Spikes have come through. Mimikyu's got it. Buzzwole's got it. We do have Umbreon on the field as well. Not far off it on the side of Zacian, and we're still looking for the Dodrio. Just a Doduo at the moment as Bider accepts their fate.
Yeah, I mean, you're just a tiny little 2-headed bird. You're not triple-headed. You don't have the really cool Hollowware yet. You don't have the staple, but you're putting them room by the Umbreon. Too many eons. And then taken down by the Zacian there. But we do have nice pivots and support from the UK to deny any sort of poke pressure that the Italy might be looking to put onto the Delphox there. That does allow Delphox to get its level 6 just in time for the Regidrago here to spawn in.
That's interesting. The mean look is going to be used here to shut down Biden. And that's going to be so good because you have a melee heavy team, buddy. If you can stop them getting out just like that, you can dive on through as they look for it. The Pillar Swine is going to rain down damage from above. The Regidrago is ripped by the Zacian as well. And Italy are well on top of this right now. But Rippers has hit Delphox. They're getting ready to go. But the Shadow Sneak is going to land on the side of Mimikyu. They're cut off by Top Gun. But they've got to be very cautious of that.
Yeah, they almost had it there, but the Comfey was able to take away the play rough from the Delphox. Really good zoning there from them as they now go to lock into this fight here. They're looking at a lot of pressure from the Miraidon here against Italy as the Mimikyu looks to walk in onto the Indeedee.
80 points to 10 right now. Still a close game as these objectives take to the field. Oh, Top Gun has been found. The Ice Fang connects. The KO comes through. No front line for the United Kingdom for this fight here. And we called it when that came through. But once that Crustle is gone, you are squishy and exposed as Play With Me takes down the squishies. And they look for the objectives here.
Yeah. We're 4.5 minutes into this game already, and we are in a very dangerous situation for the UK. We only have 10 points on the board. A tier 1 pad is now completely gone, and our KOs are just racking up against us there. Italy has been doing a really good job, but hopefully, once the UK gets their Unite moves, they'll be able to turn this around. But looking at the levels, Tano, that is a long time from now.
Oh, this is not... The thing is, though, Italy are feeling confident right now. You can tell by the way that they're constantly going into the central area or pushing the T2 goals. That's something you've got to be cautious of, because if you give over a little bit more experience than you wanted to, the United Kingdom will be well back into this game. You've got 2 level 11s on your side, buddy. That is plenty of levels above the United Kingdom. If you give one of those over, UK are going to be feeling pretty rosy after that.
Yeah, Dodrio, even though it was a brazen pick against the Umbreon there, is not able to outclass on that mean look there. Regilecki is barreling down, and Mamoswine is looking to ensure that it goes in with the Mimikyu here. Delphox is there with the fanciful fireworks, finally gets that, but the Moonlight Prance is coming out. Going to be able to nullify a lot of the damage coming in on the Umbreon there, as well as absorb a lot of shields. The rest of Italy is able to back off, and Umbreon is going to take the fall.
Yeah, they're going to be happy with that. We're going to also see Mama Swine go on in. Shadow Sneak was there for Mimikyu as they cut down Dodrio. Bida is back at the Pokemon Center. Comfey is going to go to them as well. And the UK is struggling here in this second game. They need to find experience and find it quick, but Italy will not let them breathe. Sovereign Sword is going to come through and say goodbye to Ripper, and they push onto the T2 pad as well. Bright Future Media Storm is going to be used here to defend this pad, and right now, Hyde, UK just cannot get back into this game.
Yeah, they like you said, that's the one front line on the Crustle, nothing else. And that's the only thing stopping the Delphox and the Miraidon from taking heavy hits. You need a little bit more front line if you're going to hit from the back there, and unfortunately, UK doesn't have it. I think they're starting to realize that now, so they're looking to gain as much experience and as much Unite moves as possible. We have the Danceable Fireworks back up, we got the Rebel Rouser, and we have an objective in each lane spawned in, so it's going to be interesting to see how they're able to do it, and they get the KO on the Mimikyu.
I was literally just talking about it, buddy. They got overconfident on the side of Italy. Now Buzzwall's going to go on in as well. Rebel Rouser is there. Buzzwall is now going to retreat, but Umbreon looks like they're going to fall as well. They were so confident on finding the pick on the squishy that they actually ended up going down. The rip is coming through onto Klaus. They do have superpower, though. Not going to be easy to find. Ultra Swole Slam's going to come on through, gets rid of the Crustle, and the United Kingdom find a couple of picks, get some decent levels, but not enough to really match those level 13s yet.
No, not quite there, but the UK's not out yet. The Delphox might be down, but they're still keeping a lot of pressure on. They're keeping the top tier 1 up. Meanwhile, in the bottom here, we're going to see Dodrio and Comfey go for some nice scores. Get them board here, but trouble is brewing as Mamoswine and Buzzwole and Umbreon are looking to collapse along with Mimikyu.
Oh, smart plays by Italy just to let Dodrio get away. You're going to spend a lot of time trying to chase that. Mimikyu is going to do so, but Buzzwole has gone back down to that bottom objective, looking to see if they can take that for their team, and it's uncontested, so that they will. The United Kingdom is at least getting some experience, so they've concentrated on doing that. Pac-Man mode has been activated. Bida is being such a nuisance on the home pad. Dwayne as well, hopping off, trying to take some damage to allow Bida to get out. That's what you want from your support player.
Yeah, Comfey just said, go, bro, go. Leave me behind. You can make it. Go ahead and do it. And Mimikyu was like, I'm going to take that sacrifice. I'm not even going to say, no, bro, you deserve to live. No, I'm going to take it. I'm going to get some more stacks, some Abrasive if I have it. And they're going through, but the Regielekis almost walked in. More points are raining in for the side of Italy. 234 to 66. And now, Tano, it is Groudon time.
Oh, right now it's hard to see how Italy can be defeated. The rip on the Groudon's going to come on through. They've got a Zacian, buddy, and all they have to do is hold the UK here in the central area, and that's exactly what they do. The rip works a treat as Italy takes the Groudon. They're already points in the lead, and now with these buffs, we were already winning the team fights. Fanciful Fireworks is great to try and stop them scoring, but without it being even on the goal pad, Klaus can still get those points in, and Italy are looking to be Goliath in this game.
Yeah, hey, listen, they got taken out by Germany last year too. You know, they got to come back. They have to have their own shot against them, and they're ready to play. They took out Greece. Now they took out UK. 626 to 70 now.
Oh, this, buddy. Why do I always have to cast the UK when they don't win? This is so frustrating. This is the second year in a row, bro. UK, I mean, they did fight a brilliant fight, but it just proved too much. Greece bounced back big time, and Italy, oh boy, have Italy been aggressive in this game.
Yeah, I think that just speaks to the strategies that Italy had to pull out today. Even Greece speaks to the strength of the UK alone. Like a lot of these teams, like nobody went down as a pushover. Every team that fought today fought with everything on the line. And I'll tell you right now, look at that. The Crustal's even looking for a little dance. We're going to get some stuff. But the Umbreon said no. Wow.
No respect, bro. But you know what? What I will say is that every time I see the UK play, it's so much fun. They come out with some crazy comps. They play ridiculously fun. I love watching them every time. I love casting them every time, even if it does break my heart. They are always fun to watch, and I'm so glad that so many players and teams here in this European Cup always have fun playing.
And I think that's the beautiful thing about Unite, too. No matter what teams, the outcome is for teams, just like regular sports, every team has their fans and they're dedicated 100%. And no matter what, UK, Tano is your fan forever.
800 points to 70. Italy is going to take this set with a 2-0 record. And I believe, because this is the last chance qualifier, we say goodbye to the United Kingdom in the Unity European Cup. What an effort, though, buddy, and what a lot of fun they had.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. We saw some wild stuff today. Like, we saw this Delphox Miraidon combo. We saw a first pick Gengar. Oh my gosh, over Darkrai of all things. I mean, maybe it was the Darkrai they tried to lock in and the system just said, no, you're on Gengar. And, you know, it could have been one of those things. But again, first pick Gengar. We saw some beautiful things from Greece in 3 sets. Italy, Portugal were all coming through. Powerful teams, powerful plays, amazing gameplay galore.
Now the question is, as we see this game unfold, I want to look away from the screen because it was just domination from Italy for the whole of this. But the question is, can anyone defeat Switzerland and France and Spain? Because they have been so dominant in these opening weeks, buddy. That is the target. And I tell you what, France, they lost it last year. They are used to winning this cup. They are coming into this really angry. They are wanting that crown back. Their games were amazing. So any team that tries to take on France, it's going to be an electric set.
Yeah, well, if they're going to take the win, they got it, and they got to beat out Germany here. So, looking at our Group A, it is Italy winning 2-0, Greece 1-1, UK 0-2 today.
Maybe 0-2 on the board, but the 2-0 in my heart, buddy. Unfortunately, unable to make it through the groups. But nevertheless, a brilliant set of Pokemon games we have had. I'm just checking with production on whether we've got anything else to bring you on the screens before we close on off. But, Hyde, is this your first time casting the European Cup?
It is my first time casting the European Cup. So everything I'm seeing here, everything I'm experiencing, absolutely brand new. So I am loving it. I am a kid in the candy shop who's just been showed the secret door to behind the counter that's got all the Willy Wonka bars and everything in there. Like, I am ecstatic, and it's brilliant.
Oh, it really, really, really is. I think that is going to be it from us, chat. So a huge shout out to everybody that has been working behind the scenes. That's your last chance qualifiers. And a huge shout out to Jonathan here, my co-caster, doing it all the way from good old Canada. And a huge shout out to the teams that took part. And you guys viewing in the channel as well, I believe. Anything from you, Jonathan?
No, I think I got one more question though for you, Tano. When are we here back next for the Unity Cup?
I'll wait for production to confirm. I think it's Sunday. If I'm thinking correctly, I know that I have been told that I'm doing some casting on Ghatlue's channel on Sunday. I'm pretty sure it's going to be this. Yes, thank you, production. It is Sunday. Just also want to give a huge shout out to our producer Diallo, replays by Shivam, Observer, Pasta, and of course me and the amazing Jonathan Hyde on the mic. So, guys, have fun. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. We will catch you on Sunday for more Unity European Cup. See you then.
Take care. I'm going to be keeping track and seeing what